What's up, my loves and fellow creatives? I am here with you this morning. We're working on some client designs that got backed up this week. And my apologies to any of you all. I think we're on schedule for all designs except for maybe one right now. And I've done everything I can to make that right. Let's go ahead and get started on this. And then I have some that are actually due next week, but I'm going to go ahead and work on them today because I plan on taking some time off next week. So I want to make sure everything's got up and clean and I can enjoy myself, and hopefully I won't be working on my laptop the whole time I'm gone. All right. Hey, Victoria. Simply Beautiful Tracy, what's good with you? Okay. And catch the replay. Good deal. Well, enjoy your granddaughter's baseball game. I hope you have fun. Is it blurry? Let me see. It shouldn't be blurry. You know what? You may have to change on your YouTube. Change your settings to where, oh, maybe I have to change the settings. Let me see if that works. I think you have to change your viewer settings because I'm looking at the playback speed and the quality, and you can change it to a higher quality so you can see the screen better. Let me know if that works for you. And Victoria, you can ask your question here live and I will do my best to answer that for you. Yes, Tracy, just email me and we'll get that together, okay? All right. Okay, so Simply Beautiful said it looks good on the iPad. Yeah, sometimes YouTube will automatically set your the quality of your video based on either the bandwidth or the internet or the device that you're using, and you have to bump it up to that HD or at least at 720 pixels. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. Let's see if I have my love Tiffany here with us. And if Tiffany is not with us, she has given me instructions, so I'm going to go ahead and go with it. And then she'll have this video later to reference whenever she needs to modify this design again. So I have 3 photos, and I'm going to go ahead and do my remove BG and pull photo number 1. Oh, hold on a second. I have to go to my folder to pull it in. There we go. So photo number 1. Beautiful. Photo number 2. And this one is pretty highly pixelated, but we're going to roll with it. And photo number 3. And this one is a screenshot of a photo, but I think I can work with it because I think the red image is going to be the main image. So I'll just clean this up around here in Photoshop. So let me go ahead and download the 3 images. So that was photo 3, photo 2, I believe it's this one. Now I'm downloading the HD, but you can see there's very little difference between the preview image and the HD. And the HD downloads take up your credits if you have a Remove BG account. And then the preview ones, you don't even have to have credits. You can download the preview versions of the cutouts for free. But sometimes there'll be a big difference in the resolution and the quality, of course, the print quality of the image. So see how this one is drastically different? That's because this is a higher quality photo that has more pixels in it. So you end up dealing with, if you want to do like all over shirts or big images, sometimes your images will be pixelated if you download the preview quality version of it. All right, so I have all 3 images downloaded. I'm gonna go ahead and close that out. And I'm gonna right click on my template here on the image, and I'm gonna find where it says photo 1. And this particular one, I'm going to turn off the existing photo, and what happens is whatever layer I have selected, when I drag and drop my image in here, it's going to go right on top of that existing layer. So I want the main red photo as the main image, so I'm going to drop it right here on top of the previous main image. And let's pull on these corners and resize that a little bit. Right. Okay, and then I hit enter to lock in my transformation. And then I'm going to go ahead and find this photo. That's photo number 2. And it might be in this group right here. So this is my black and white photo number 2. Now I have some things going on here. So I have a little hue saturation change. I'm going to go ahead and take these 2 files and merge them, just so that we know where to place the photo now. So I have a photo 2. I'm going to drag and drop right on top of the existing photo 2. I'm going to resize it and hit enter. And then because this is a customer file, I'm going to go ahead and clean up the images and make it so that it's only that the necessary images in here, because these files can get really huge, as you know. And then we have photo number 3. Now I'm going to drag and drop photo number 3 in here, but I'm probably going to do a little editing. I want it to be in the background, so it's going to stay in this black and white folder. And I'm just going to drag and drop it onto the artboard, move it up here in this corner. And then remember I said I was going to clean up her hair a little bit there. It doesn't even look like I have to be I think it's a hat and hair that I need to clean up. I don't have to be very specific because it's going to be watermarked, but I still want it to be clean just in case we want to use it somewhere else. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and double click on that photo number 3 because I know I need to do some editing to it. First thing I'm going to do, zoom in here and see if I can figure out kind of what's going on here with the hair and the hat. And I can make it up with my pen tool. I'm going to start down here and I'm clicking and dragging. And because the background is so much like the image, I am kind of guessing where the hair and the hat are versus, and I think the hat kind of has maybe some sheer around it or something. So I'm just doing my best to keep up the appearance of that. Now I'm going to select the outside meat, close up that, and make this a selection. And I make it a selection, I can choose how many pixels that I want it to feather, and I'm going to say 1, just so that I don't end up with an abrupt, clean line. I want it to kind of be a little bit softer. And then I'm going to just hit delete here. Control D will take away or deselect there. And here's the deal. I know this hat doesn't just cut off like this, but the photo cuts it off. So one thing I can do is, let me just take my lasso tool here. I'm just going to click, 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 drag a little section of this hat. Control C to copy, Control V to paste, Control T to transform, right click, and flip that horizontal. And basically I'm going to try to build the section of this hat on this other side. I'm going to drag it below the existing layer, and then I'm going to kind of fade this off at the top to see if we can get it to look like it transitions well into that extra piece. So let's add a layer mask here. Let's grab our paintbrush, and we all know that black conceals and white reveals, so we have black selected here. Let me hit my caps lock so maybe I can see. Oh, my brush is just huge, so that's why I couldn't see the size of it. So I'm holding down Control Alt and I am dragging to the left. And then I want to make sure that I have a completely soft brush. So I'm going to make sure my hardness is set to 0. Hit that caps lock again, and now I can see my brush size. And I'm just going to swipe it across the top there, and all it did was just made that soft. That's it. And I didn't delete any pixels, they're still there. And now for this top part, I'm gonna kind of like use my pen tool, make a little something up here. I see there's a little curve right here. I'm gonna kind of create my own little curve because I don't really know what's going on, but I know it's not just a flat top, right? So maybe this looks a little more believable. It doesn't have to be exact. Nobody knew exactly how that hat looked in that photo that day, but at least it looks better than just abruptly cutting it off and it being very noticeable. So let's go to selection, 1 pixel. Now this one I will hit delete to delete those pixels. I'm gonna go back to my photo up top and delete that little extra black that was up there. Control D, and then that looks believable to me, right? I could clean up this just a little bit. Same thing here. I think this is on my bottom layer here. There we go. All right, so that looks good to me. I'm gonna go ahead and merge these layers. That way when I go to close it out and I say, yes, I wanna save it, it's gonna update that save here. So now, even though it's a watermarked image and you don't really tell, if I were to use this image in its full opacity or full color, it will look like, you know, we completed that hat up there. All right, and of course, y'all know how I feel about hard edges, so we're going to go ahead and fade these edges of the image off just by doing a quick layer mask, grabbing our paintbrush. Black is in our foreground. If it wasn't, then we just hit the default swatches here, hit that switcheroo button, and it brings black to the foreground. And now I have to make my brush bigger because I'm in a bigger file. That's good right there. That's about, what, 500 pixels there. And let's go ahead, let's start with the one on the right. We're going to add a layer mask to that one as well. And we're just going to kind of fade off our image here. And I'm going to turn off the red one for just a moment so I can see where my hard edges are. And then you can see, depending on how you do your design, whether you really need to focus on cutting things off. Oh, I'm supposed to be on my next layer mask now. So here's my layer mask for photo 3. I'm painting on the layer mask. I'm not painting on the photo. As a matter of fact, if you try to paint on the photo, Adobe Photoshop will give you an error saying that, hey, you're going to have to rasterize this layer before you can paint on it. And if you see that, that's a warning that you probably are getting ready to paint on a layer that you don't want to paint on. You don't want to paint on your smart objects. All right, so again, for this one, I have this cloud underneath this side image to make the image a little bit brighter behind it. So I'm going to take that cloud and duplicate it. I'm back on my move tool. I'm going to hold down Alt and see how it turns into a double arrow, and I'm going to bring that cloud over here. And what it does, see how it brightens the face of the image? Because the image is transparent, you need a little white behind it to see that contrast really well. All right, and I think that does it for us. So let's go ahead and bring back our red image here. Beautiful. And we're even going to go ahead and fade off this one a little bit, because sometimes you don't know you have hard lines until you press them on the shirt and then you're disappointed. So if I can avoid it, I just try to go ahead and fade off all my photos. So let's go ahead and add a layer mask to the photo 1. We'll grab the brush here and just kind of softly get rid of some of the edges of the graphic. All right, so that looks good there. Victoria, your question, the magazine template, can you use it in Affinity? Files have to be converted to Affinity because yes, you can open a Photoshop file in Affinity, which essentially that's what I do when I create the Affinity templates, but I end up having to do a lot of modification to make sure that the effects look like how they look in the Photoshop, because the effects don't work the same. So it'll end up flattening text or doing something funky with the smart object sometimes. So if there is a file that you want us to convert to Affinity that doesn't already have an Affinity setup, you can request that. As a matter of fact, if you do a custom design request, right, and it asks you, do you want the Affinity file or the Photoshop file? You can actually request that you can upload a Photoshop file and tell us that you want it in Affinity, and we will convert it to Affinity at that fee. But to answer your question, yes, you can download a Photoshop file or template, and you can play with it and convert it to an Affinity template yourself as well. And I have a few videos showing me doing that. It takes me about an hour to kind of like fully make sure that everything works in Affinity the same way it works in Photoshop. So if you want something specific changed over, just do a custom design request and we can help you with that. That way you don't have to buy the template and then convert it, if that makes sense. All right. So, oh, you're welcome, love. And welcome to the family. Welcome to Affinity. All of that. We have some Affinity templates, and lately I've been slowing down. Well, I'm not going to say slowing down. I have not been doing my Affinity versions of the templates because it takes so much energy that and I'll show you what you need to do. If I don't already have an Affinity version of it, let me show y'all real quick. So if you go to innatelab.com, there is an area on here for, let me get this up to regular size, design and print services. So let's say you see a template that you really like, even if you see it on the Academy, and you want an Affinity version of it, then you can come down here to a custom design. And whenever if you don't even need to, I'm going to tell you this, you might as well use this as an opportunity to, and right now the custom design service is on sale. So I didn't realize even the custom design service goes on sale when we do our flash sales. But here, like, you may want to go ahead and convert it to what you want it to be. But you can add your photos. If you don't care about the photos and you want it to pretty much stay the same, then of course you have to upload what template you want to do, right? So let's say you're online and you chose that template, you upload that. It's gonna by default make you upload a photo here. So you can just upload the same photo of the template if you want to, and then it's going to ask you what photo format. So if you want the Photoshop version of it, this is where, let's say you want a little help with the template, but you still want the Photoshop file, you can choose that. Or if you want the Affinity version of the file, this lets us know that you want to convert that file. And then depending on your turnaround time that you need it in and the design size, you just let me know, hey, is this an all over or 13 by 19 that you want, and how soon do you need this file? And from there, this will, you can also tell me that you want to see it live. So if you tell me, yes, I want to see it live, then I will actually design it live on YouTube, okay? So that kind of gives you a way to come back to that video later after you've purchased that template and have a video to go along with it. So if you tell me no, you don't, well, you know what, you should just say yes either way, because I think you want to know how to update the Affinity template, okay? Because the YouTube ones I have videos for, but I don't have videos unless I make a template for Affinity, okay? If that makes sense. So I know there are more Affinity users out there. I've been focused quite a lot on the Photoshop lately. But yes, and I'm glad you asked that question, Victoria, because some people don't know that we have Affinity templates. A lot of the templates that we have, the 10-minute templates, have Affinity versions. But like I said, the ones we've done lately don't necessarily have Affinity unless it's a special request. So absolutely, I encourage you to do the custom design request, and we'll convert it to an Affinity template for you, okay? All right, so we can get back to this one here. I'm going to make sure that I'm doing the right text. Alright, so we're going to do a royal purple and lavender color theme here. Alright, and then we're going to do custom text here as well. So we're going to say always on my mind. So let me go to my move tool here. If I double click on my text here, it selects that whole row of text. Then I just do Control V and I can paste whatever I just copied and it will replace that text. So I'm going to do title text here. That means you're just going to capitalize the beginning of each word. And then forever in my heart. All right, let's paste over that. And we're going to do the name as well. So I can right click and find where the name is, double click on that T. So those are 3 different ways I showed you how to edit your text. All right. And because we have a single name here, I think we're going to have to play with the dates just a little bit. And that way I have a little bit of space between each of the dates. And literally, I'm just going to press the space bar here. Maybe give it a few more spaces. There we go. And Brenda, I'm going to take and I'm going to push it up just a little bit and stretch it out just a little bit. Because it's a short name and it's a single name, so I definitely want it to kind of scale appropriately. All right, and I think that's it for the photo and the text. Now we got to work on the color scheme here, which is going to be royal purple and lavender. So right now I have a gradient fill on this background and I also have a solid color. Let's go with our gradient fill, and then we're going to double click and just, well, you can, if this was your template, you would duplicate if you wanted to keep that, the rainbow colored one or that CMY kind of colored one. And then we can come here and just make our own gradient. I actually will go to purples because I know she said royal purple and light purple, or royal purple and lavender, and I almost never find what I'm actually looking for. This is a purple that I made with 2 different colors, but let me see. I was trying to show you how you can start with. None of these really work for me because none of these are really royal purple or lavender. Yeah, I'm gonna go with mine that I made up, and I'm gonna change it so that I make sure I have like a really nice light lavender in there. And as long as you're doing gradients, you're gonna capture that color somewhere. And since the main color is royal, I want to make sure that that is the color that we show the most. And if I want to save this as a new swatch, I can scroll all the way to the bottom and hit new, and it'll pop up down here. And I'm going to try to change either the angle or my style of the gradient here, because right now the gradient's just going linear. And I'm not really seeing much of what my gradient is doing here. So let me place shifting here. Oh, I know what I need to do. I think this gradient layer is really huge right now. Let's see. Let's turn this into the smart color. Okay, and I've been telling y'all lately how I have been redesigning my templates with smart colors just because it allows for me to change the color one time and then it affects every place that touches. So you see I just right clicked and created a smart object out of that color swatch. Now let me do Control T, we're locked in there, good deal. And this way, if I wanted to do this with the text and all, this is now how I change my colors. And in order, if I do this angle one, in order for the angle to look smooth, it has to start and end with the same color, or else you get this dark line right here. So if I want it to start and end with a dark purple, I'm going to tap on my dark purple swatch, tap in a space that does not have a swatch, and it will automatically copy that one, okay? So that looks good. I need to save that as a new swatch. And yes, we're going to update that. And what happens with the smart colors is that it will automatically update to the template. Hey, Tiffany, I see you, love. You're welcome. We're doing the colors right now. So I know you said like a royal purple and lavender. So let's go ahead and see how we can make that work with the whole smart color deal. All right, now I also need to recolor the text. So let me drag this up to the top and we're just going to see how this looks recoloring everything. All right. Bring this all the way to the top. And then of course, we can play with how the blend modes work and all that good stuff. I just wanted to do my initial kind of just recoloring, see what looks good in the purple, what I would want to pull out to be real color. So for instance, her photo, and also I would want to recolor probably the inside of the text. So we'll see that in just a moment. Now I'm going to take this and recolor the clouds. See how we have all these clouds here? So I'm going to take the smart color, alt click and drag it, just right click and create a clipping mask. And a lot of this area is underneath the stairs right now, but anything that I want to recolor. And I probably can also recolor like the background images instead of them being black and white. So I'm going to take alt click and drag on top of my black and white photos. And then I'm going to right click and create a clipping mask so it only goes down to those. And then let's do the text. Now the text we're going to have to do a little different because we can't just color the black. we're going to have to use probably like a normal blend mode. And Tiffany, let me know if there's anything that you need to change or any text, anything like that. Just let me know in the chat and I'll update it for you, okay? All right, Julia, I like your energy. Julia says, let's get this channel to at least 50,000 by May 5th. Hey, that sounds like a good number. 50,000, 5. Let's do it. I love it. Gotcha. Okay, so let's play with what colors go where, and I think we'll have a good good groundwork for how we want these colors to play out. Now I will ask you this, do you want to have like a silver or gold kind of complement with the purple, or do you want it just to all be purple? Because I will certainly show you that. Let me give you an example. Let's do always on my mind. So I'm going to take that smart color, right click, create a clipping mask, and you see how now the color clips inside of there? If you like that, let me know. And then here's the thing we can do too. I can actually turn and resize my gradients so that they work within whatever text I'm working with. And this one I think I'm going to take and do the linear gradient. So it'll be easier to track what's going on here. There we go. Oh, the scale is on 1%. And I need it to be linear. Let's do a simple, like lighter to darker, 90 degree. What we'll typically call this ombre. And what is my scale here? Let's bring the scale down so I can see my variations. Here we go. All right. So now, as you see, with it being a smart color, it updated in all these different places, right? So now we just need to make sure that it applies how we want it to apply for the text, because the text is a little funny. The gradient goes all the way from the bottom to the top of the page. So when we do it for text, we kind of have to modify that a little bit. So I am just holding down shift so that I can disproportionately change this. There we go. See how now I touch on all of my gradients there. That works. And then instead of me doing that over and over again, I'm just going to take this smart color, alt click and drag it down to the feather in my heart, right click, create a clipping mask, but remember it's all the way up here at the top. So I have to pull it down to the text underneath and make sure that that works. Now the blend mode is on color, so I'm going to change it to normal on both of these. Then that way we just get the the color of whatever the gradient is. That way when we shift it around, we know exactly what we're getting. So if I want a little more darkness, if I want a little more lightness, you see that works? I can even take, let's say I wanted this one to go from light to dark and I wanted the bottom one to go from dark to light. Then I just do Control T and rotate my smart color 180 degrees. And now see I have my dark at the bottom. Well, I thought I did. Where'd it go? Oh, it shifted, but of course it was a taller one. All right, so I can push this to whatever I need it to be. Now I'm going to leave a little bit of extra space because sometimes we forget, and if our text is any taller or wider than the smart color, then we have to just adjust the smart color. And see how I'm pushing it in, making it a little bit smaller. All right, so I'll do the same thing to Brenda now. I'll take this one from the original and I'm going to alt click and drag it up, but I have to copy and paste this layer style. And then create a clipping mask. All right, so my blend mode is on normal, but you notice if I hit Control T, my smart color is all the way up here. In order to see it on the word Brenda, I have to bring it down. And then for it to cover the whole word Brenda, I'm going to hold down Shift and I'm going to stretch this up a little bit. That way it covers the whole name there. And because these have clipping masks or clipping paths to them, even if my color goes outside of my intended area, it's going to clip it. It's going to snap it to where it only shows on those active areas where we have it clipped down to, okay? So this is kind of using the gold, the purple, and the lavender. And now I'm going to focus on the background here. If I want the gold to kind of show through where the chains are, let me see if I have that in this one. Okay, so in order to make my gold show through here, I'm going to have to make it so that my smart color does not go over the gold. So first let me pick out wherever my gold is. And I can do that if I'm going to turn off the images in the background for just a moment. And kind of just focus on what's picking up as far as the gold. So now I'm going to go to my, nope, let's do it this way. Let's go to select and let's go to color range. And I'm going to bring the fuzziness all the way down for right now. And I'm going to sample one color and it's going to be the gold here. Right, and then what I'm going to do is hit the plus sign and kind of select some of the different areas of gold, and it's just adding to that selection. And really I should be sampling some of the different highlights, mid-tones, and shadows from the gold. And once I see that it kind of got a good deal of it here, I even have some gold here that I wanted to get. And mind you, it's getting this everywhere in the image, but what we're going to do is focus on just the background. So let's do this. Let's turn everything off except that background so the selection is not confused. So I'm going to right click on the eyeball and it says show this layer, and it also says show hide all other layers. So I'm going to hide all other layers. There we go. First it showed all the layers and then it did hide all the layers. And this will be the sky. Just trying to clean up some things here. All right. All right, so everything is cut off right now except for this background. So now when we do our selection, I'm even going to turn off the layer mask right here. So I'm going to disable it so I can see cleanly what we're working with. All right, so now let's go to select color range. And I need to be on the layer when I do that. Select color range. There we go. And I'm going to start all over again. It looks like it has the gold selected here because it remembers the last thing that I was trying to select. So I'm going to just bring it all the way back down and start over. Make sure I hit my plus sign for the color picker tool. So it's just adding to that selection every time I click somewhere. And then I can also subtract. So I'm going to the black and subtracting, going to the white and subtracting. I really want this to be cleanly about the gold. And the gold has a little black and white in it too. So the fuzziness is for like basically expanding that area just a little bit. And I don't want to expand it until I have exactly what I want. So let me all the way back. I'm going to go to my original selection, zoom in a bit, and see how many golds there are here. Different golds. Okay, and let me see if I bring up the fuzziness now. There we go. And I still see some darker areas like that brownish area there. And that selected a little too much. There we go. I think this might be about it. We're about to see in just one moment. So if I say okay here, now it has selected all these pixels, right? And what I want for is when I smart color this background, I want for it to color everything except for my gold. Let's say I want to keep my gold. Then I can take this smart color and add a layer mask just to see what all is in here right now. And you see that some of this area gold was not selected. So I'm going to add to that previous mask right here. That orangish color gold was not picked up well. So I'm going to go back to the drawing board for the color selection. And I really should have just saved that selection. Let's grab that orangish color there. Oh, it's on my gradient layer, duh. Let's get back to our chain link area and color range. There it goes. I thought I was supposed to save it. And then we're going to go to our add tool and here we go. I want to choose something that allows me to, there we go. Quick mask turns things red, but you see these red areas here? We don't have those selected. So when I hit plus, see how it kind of adds to that selection? All right. I'll be a little bit happier now that I see that it has all this selected. All right, that makes me feel a lot better. And there may very well still be some areas that have a little bit of the red and we just can't see it. But I think this works. All right. So now I'll say okay. I'm going to delete this existing layer mask. I'll turn it on to show you one more time. See how some of those areas are popping through? So I'm going to delete that layer mask and I'm going to create a new one. There it goes. Now you can actually just recolor the chain itself. Turn off the recoloring for the chain, and then I'm going to duplicate this. Then I'm going to control click these active pixels. I'm going to delete the layer mask here and I'm going to invert it. So select inverse, and now I have the background layer selected, and I'm going to create a clipping mask there. And if I turn off the one below, so this is recoloring the chain. So I'll call this the chain smart color, and then this would be the background. I'll just say BG smart color. All right. And this is still on color, but I can change this to normal, darken, and I want you to just notice how it's playing with those black and whites. Multiply, I think multiply is a good one here. If you want it where the black is to be a different color, we can even work that out. So let's go with multiply. And then I'm going to bring all my other layers back because I want to see how this even affects it. Right, and then we'll get a chance to see whether we want to keep our chains gold, or we can make them lavender, we can make them dark purple, whatever we want. All right, so let's bring everything back. Date. And then even within these folders, whenever I do the thing where I turn off everything, I have to individually turn on the elements within the folders. So we're just bringing all this back. You see our little clouds coming back. And the clouds behind the photos. And this is where you get to kind of see how these layers affect your design. Bring our stairs back. There we go. Bring our sky back. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and bring our layer mask back just to see how everything kind of pulls in and ties in here. And what text are we missing? And I'm going to rename this as always on my mind. And now that we start bringing this back, let's see, I think that's everything that we had on here. All right, so I think we are ready to focus now on the background photos because I want to make sure that they show up cleanly, but they also make sense with the design. And I'm just closing up some of these folders that are open right now so we can get a little focus. And for the background photos, I'm going to just resize them just a little bit so that they fall right, the faces fall right where those white clouds are so we can fully see the faces. There we go. And then for her shirt, since it's red, I may, and Tiffany, let me know if this is okay. I will see about changing maybe her shirt to purple. So in order to do that, let's do a hue saturation. And I am going to use the finger pick tool here to grab that color. And those are reds. And you'll see if I shift these colors, I can shift the color of her shirt from red to purple. And of course it's changing her skin tone and everything too, but we would make sure that we pull that out of the color change. All right, and let's right click on this to create a clipping mask so that it only affects the photo, so it's not making the background purple anymore. And then for the image here, we have a layer mask just for the hue saturation. And I'm just going to use my paintbrush here to show you that if we paint away around the face, it preserves our red color there. And this, this brush tool right now is having a real delayed response as I'm doing the live recording, but y'all bear with me. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and hit save, do the save dance, as I say in class, because if you don't do the save dance, then you might be doing something else when it's a possibility of losing your work. All right, and I'm not even being real precise here. I'm just literally just brushing my brush over certain areas just to expose the colors that I want to expose. And yeah, we could say that's what you were talking about. Instead of my, you want to say our. So forever in our hearts, always on. Well, I guess if you say always on my mind, forever in my heart, it speaks to the individual that is wearing the shirt. So we would have to say always on our minds, forever in our hearts. So let me know if you want to change that. And I got you. All right, and this is not quite purple. So what I'm going to do, those were the reds I was changing there. Matter of fact, I can just go back now. And I can hit colorize. And I can also just recolor things globally and see where it goes. So let's crank the saturation up a little bit. And I can pick any hue that I want when I colorize. And that looks like a good purple there. If I want it a little deeper, then I'll bring down the lightness. And that looks about right there. And then still on this layer mask, I'm going to get rid of the areas where I can actually see a little bit right there on her face. And of course in the hair. Now if you wanted to make it cool and make streaks in the hair and stuff, you absolutely do that. And then let's say, oops, I went down red into the shirt a little bit. I would reverse it, bring the white back as my main color. And then if I paint with white, it's going to reveal. So it's revealing that purple. And then right around here, I saw a little bit of red come out. That chain kind of turns purple down there. So even if you aren't working with the best of resolution or something, you can make it. You can always make it work. I'm gonna do the black, and this brush tool isn't working right whenever I'm doing my lives, but I think we'll just leave that alone because we're gonna play with it too much and get into some trouble. All right. And if we want to also, let's do, I think with the purple and the gold, I actually like the gold. Let me know if you like the gold because it's in the staircase as well. But I'm gonna add a little bit of outline to the text here just to see if it makes it pop. And I think I already have a white stroke on here. I think if I change the stroke to black, no, that's not quite it. I think I need the white stroke. And then my gradient, I'm going to bring some of the highlights out. A little too light. There we go. And then it doesn't seem so busy in the gold area. Just modifying this just a little bit. All right, so the white color should be on top of the gradient to recolor it. And then this color now cleanly affects the color underneath. And because right now it has sort of a coppery color to it, I want to, and I think that's how the gold is naturally in this background. I'm going to grab one of the golds from the background and make sure it matches. Right there. And then I'll just copy that layer style and paste it for the other text. Right click, paste layer style. There we go. So now it doesn't look as busy, but it still has your metallic look to it. And we can make the metallic look silver or gold by just turning off that color overlay for that stroke. Gotcha. So let's change it to hour. So always on hour, minds, forever in. And then when I want to select a different text, I'm going to choose the move tool and then the text tool again. Forever in, hour, hearts, so make that plural. G&D, I don't know how many we have in stock right now. The website automatically keeps inventory, but if you put in a number of souls that you're looking for, if it will not let you check out if it doesn't have it in inventory. So let's say like if you're trying to get 50 souls and it tells you we don't have the inventory for that, try 20, and then if it lets you get 20, then you know we have 20. And I think that's probably the number one thing that's selling out right now with this flash sale. Oh yeah, I forgot to let you all know, if you're not aware, that there is a flash sale on the Innate Lab website right now. And it is 40% off of absolutely everything, including templates, blanks, ink, all of that good stuff. So if you've never tried the True Colors ink, this is a time right now to get it at wholesale cost. And basically try it out. I don't think you'll find any other high quality ink at this price point like ever in life. So whenever we do the flash sales, I know a lot of you take advantage of that. All right, so Tiffany, let me know if there's anything else that you want to see on this. I think, let me go back to, now if you want to keep the background black and white or you want it to be purple, that's an option there for you too. And let me know if you want to keep like the change in everything purple, or if you want the change to stay gold and the background to be purple, or vice versa. Like you can do the purple chains and the background stay black and white. All right, so just let me know which one looks best for you. And let me make sure that I'm saving here. And I think I'm going to fade off the effects of this color change here where the chain is. Let me see if I like that. Bring the sky up just a little bit. There we go. Oh yes, if you all could please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff that your favorite YouTubers tell you to do. Yeah, absolutely. Let's make them in color. So to do that, we're going to go back to that. We have a black and white filter on right now, so let's go ahead and turn it off. Then we have those in color. Yeah, that does look good. And then let me kind of fade this one off a little bit more. Because when they're in color, you can see, of course, see the images better. So let me go ahead and clean that up just a little bit here. That way it looks a little more faded off there. And let me know what you think about that, love. Oh yeah, and G&D Photography, we just stocked up on stoles right before this flash sale because we know that's what a lot of people come for during the flash sale is to stock up on the stoles. So if you need them, please go ahead and grab those because usually after the flash sale, the stock is low until we get the next inventory in, which usually is about a week later. And I know that graduation is fastly approaching, so you may want to go ahead and stock up on that inventory. And the suppliers are taking longer to produce and ship. There's a holiday May 1st to May 5th, which is the Chinese, I think it's their Memorial Day. So they take off that time and they will not be producing orders. So basically that's another holdup that we have to look forward to during this graduation season. Yeah, and sometimes we have to deal with Tiffany, we have to deal with those photos that aren't the best quality, but we just kind of play with them. And if you go back to the beginning of the video, then you'll see I did, kind of clean up the hat photo a little bit. All right, so we're gonna go purple backgrounds, gold chain. Gotcha. And then let me go up here to, I'm gonna deselect contiguous. So on my background layer, if I select everything black, so it has all the black active pixels selected right now. I can go ahead and just create a new color layer. Or how about this? I'll create a new smart color layer. And then I will delete the layer mask here. And I'm gonna show you how we would just recolor just that black part. And since the active pixels are selected where the black previously was, if I create a clipping mask there, did I move it? I moved it. No, I didn't move it. I thought I copied it. Yeah, I created a copy. Let's turn it back on. And then we'll change this blend mode instead of color. We'll change it to normal just so you can see if I wanted to recolor wherever the black was, you have that option too. That way you don't have black in the background at all. So this little striped area here is like a dark purple and a lighter purple. All right, G&D. I I hope I know you. I don't even want to hope because I already know that you're gonna be putting those to work. Thank you, love. I appreciate the support, and I'm glad that we'll be able to help you out on that project. That means you putting that machine to work. I'm excited for you. All right. Okay, so Tiffany, let me know if there's anything else I need to do here, or I can just go ahead and save this and get this over to you. I know you needed this like in a quick fast and in a hurry, so I'm willing to go on and send you this file right now. Let me know if there's anything you want to change before that though. So once you get it, I want you to be able to just print and go. And then if you want to play with it, I have this video and I will save it so that you can come back to it if you need to know how to go back and play with anything that we did today. Oh, yep, so I have the color saved there for you. You have your black and white there as well. So you can go through and play with any of these options that you might want to see. Now, one thing I am going to do, I wasn't happy with the edge of this photo, how it was cut out, and this is our main photo. So just real quick, just for my sanity, I'm going to go into this one and clean up those edges quite a bit. So if I control click on the thumbnail, it's going to give me these marching ants. What I want to do is just kind of smooth this out a little bit. So let me go to one of my uh, masking tools here, and I'm going to go to select and mask. Okay, that's going to give me some options. I really want to smooth this and feather this a little bit. And I might have to smooth it a lot. And it's not like it's like facial details or anything. So where it's smoothing, it's literally trying to take all of these individual pixels that are a lot because it's a really jagged edge. And by smoothing it, what it does is it reduces the number of nodes or little stops that you have in the selection on the exterior here. So let's see if I can. I'm gonna shift it. I might need to shift it in just a little bit. There we go. And I'm smoothing it. And then I got me a little feather on here right now. I'm going to shift this down just a little bit more. And let's see what this looks like when we clean it up now. So let me zoom in so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. And it's hard to see with the marching ants on too. So I'm going to go ahead and create this layer mask. And it's not as clean as I want it to be. So now that I have the layer mask here, I'm going to play with this feathering a little bit. And as you can see, it's kind of fading off these edges, but I don't want it to be too faded off. I really want it to work with the smoothing. But we have smoothing almost all the way turned up. And turn my contrast back to 50%. All right, let's see if we get something better out of that. And back into our design we go. So I'm going to say yes to save these changes. And hopefully that kind of smooths it out just a little bit. Otherwise I would have to go in with my pen tool. Okay, that looks much better. Now this is how you make an object look like it was clean cut out, even if it's not a like high resolution image. I'm gonna go in with my pen tool because that's pretty much gonna be my only solution here, not to have the jagged edges. So I'm gonna start from here and then I'm just gonna click and drag. I know the pen tool is one of those dreaded tools. And even if I'm just a little bit off, I can use my feathering and my smoothing to kind of give me a little bit more forgiving of an outline. But you can tell how like here on the outside, you see how the pixels are blurred and stuff. That's why it's having a hard time cutting out. So we're going to manually cut this out. I don't often do this, especially since I've been using Remove BG, and then also Photoshop has a select subject feature. But if it's something I really want to get right, yes, I will use my pen tool. And like I said, I'm just clicking and dragging. I have a whole video showing you all how to use the pen tool. And it's just really something you practice with. I'm still learning and I'm not the best at it. And it really does work better if you have something like a stylus or pen. It works tremendously better when I can click and drag with my pen because it feels more natural. It feels like brush strokes versus clicking and dragging. I'm also hitting my space bar to get my little Michael Jackson glove and move around on the artboard there. All right, and see how this is all jagged here? I am going to just pull and make it smooth. And it looks like that is part of the sleeve there. So I'm just going to let it be part of the sleeve and arm. And then I will close this path up, make it a selection, and I'm going to feather the radius just 1 pixel. Create a layer mask. And then I can further feather it if I wanted a little bit more than 1 pixel. All right, so let's take the mask off. Do Control Z to kind of zoom in there. And let's take off the layer mask, disable it, and enable it. And you'll see how just that pen tool kind of smooth that out, even if it wasn't a smooth image to begin with, okay? So I'm happier with that. I'd rather go with that way. And then that way you have a cleaner main image because the main image really is important, okay? All right, so that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and do my save dance. And Tiffany, I'm gonna go ahead and send this on over to you. And then I'm also going to go ahead and say this is a PNG just in case you need this like ready to print. We'll do File, Save As, and we'll save it as a PNG. And I'll be sending you the PNG version and the Photoshop version. Y'all just give me a second because y'all know I do not multitask well and I can't talk and do something at the same time most times unless I'm explaining what I'm doing. So I am getting this link ready to send over to Tiffany so I can continue working on art if y'all want to hang out and work on art a little bit. Also want to let you know that we do have class tomorrow and we're going to do the heart cloud with the doves in the heart shape remembrance shirt. So I will be going over that this evening as well, letting you know what all you need to bring for homework. It's usually just a couple of photos and download your fonts. All right. I'm sending it off to you right now, Tiffany. So you'll have those immediately. All right, let's go ahead and save one more time. I'll check and see if y'all have any comments or anything for me while I'm getting ready for the next one. What font is Brenda in? Brenda is in Animal Script font. It's one of my favorite fonts to use. Animal Script. You can just Google it. It is a, I believe, free personal use font. Thank you, E. I appreciate that. All right, so let's see what some of these other ones are. And the next one is for Christelle, so I'm going to go ahead and let her know that I'm live, so hopefully she can follow along with me. And we'll go ahead and get ready for this one. So I think this one's going to be a graduation one as well. You know, sometimes when y'all put a template in there, it's not one of the NA Lab templates. So technically, I am designing a whole new, like making a new template, which I have a different charge for that. And I don't advertise that so much because it does take a lot of energy to make templates from scratch. So let's see. I think this might be one of those ones where I'm making templates from scratch. We're going to see. Let's see. You are a member of the Innate Creatives and willing to do this one live. Let me see if I have time to do this one live right now. Let's see. Let's go ahead and make a folder. And let's see what this template looks like. I get all kind of surprises when I download some of this stuff. Okay, that's not a template, but I think this is going to be graduation. Yeah, so let's see. I'm pretty sure this is going to be graduation. So this is photo 1. And I hate to assume what template anyone wants. Although I will tell you most of the time, even if I do something really off the top of my mind, or I pick something for someone, it really does like hit the mark on the first try. But it's those few times where it doesn't that leaves you thinking, man, I should have just not done this on my own account, knowing that it might be some extra work here. So I'm gonna go ahead and save these and see if this is a graduation. Yeah, I think so. Then I will use our handy dandy 125 template that shows them the stole, the 13 by 19 design, and also the all over shirt design. And maybe that will create some upsells. What I really need to do though, well, you know what I might do is go ahead and use one of the either the watercolor or the solo one that I need to convert to a 13 by 19. Let's see how much work this is first though, before I get caught up. Because really, I'm not supposed to be designing today. Usually, Saturdays is my days to kind of get ready for class, you know, have all of my resources, my mental faculties in order, because I know we take up some energy, we take up some RAM on those Sunday classes. So I like to have things really, you know, tight for you all for those classes. Let's see here. I think that's it. And it's going to be a 13 by 19 design. So let's go on to remove BG. You know what? I don't know. Let me check real quick if I have a remove BG, because I say this every time. Remove.bg. I think I have some kind of affiliate link. Affiliate program. Yeah, I'll have to check that out later. Because I want to give y'all my little link, but I always forget. Alright, so since I don't have the link right now, let's just go ahead and get to work. Let's see, photos 1 through 4. Alright, so we're dragging photos one at a time. 1. Beautiful young lady. 2. Another gorgeous photo. 3. A handsome young graduate. And 4. Beautiful. Yay, I got some good looking folks to put on the design today. All right, and then I'm thinking this logo is just something that she wanted to put on there. All right, so let's go ahead, let's rock with it. I'm gonna go ahead and download these images to folder. And because it was so small, this image is probably gonna look a little janky, but if I need to, I can probably do a Google search for the image. And then let's do, I'm just trying to, I guess I can just go to images. Stop being lazy and go to images.google.com, and then that way you can drag and drop an image in here and drag and drop that image and I think that's it right there. That's probably the same resolution image. Let me see. So this is Nimitz High School. Logo, and I'm thinking that's pretty small. Usually if I hover over it, it'll tell me the dimensions. I'm just gonna open that in a new tab. Yeah, that's tiny. That's 300 by 255. They have an alternate logo, but I'm guessing this is the one they want to use. Oh. And then this one is missing the outer edges. And I don't want to have to redesign it. So we're going to see if we can use it in whatever capacity as is. And if I need to clean it up, that's usually an extra fee to basically redesign a logo, which I've had to do a few times before. All right. So we'll work with what we got. Let's go ahead and download. This one is not a high resolution image, so I think all of these are pretty small. And the reason why I'm not downloading the HD version is because it's literally a few pixels off from the preview image, which is free to download. All right. Now this one is bigger. See the difference there? So I'll download the HD one there. All right, all right. So let me see about these instructions and see what we're doing. Got you. So we're going to be doing graduation design, saying we're proud or y'all did it or something. I love when y'all tell me stuff like that. All right. And that's a little bit of sarcasm because it, I love that you trust me, but it makes me think extra hard because I'm one of those people that overthink everything. So if you tell me what you want, I can pretty easily execute that. If you tell me, hey, just do your thing, it's like, oh boy. You know when folks tell you to do your thing. It's like, yeah, that's a lot of energy and responsibility to do my thing. All right, so we have this one saved. I think I'm gonna go with the just did it. Let me look for that one and see if she'll like that design. Let's do save as. As a matter of fact, I think I need to proof this one too. I think I got some feedback on this one to do. So here is a good part for me to announce that we have a few artists that are going to be vetted and promoted through the Innate Creatives Facebook group. And of course, you probably already know them, but we're working out the final details to be able to go ahead and get them promoting within the group and helping you all out. Of course, to be able to get quick designs, because sometimes they can design quicker than I can, because they're eager to get these designs really done. So they're able to do your PNGs for you, okay? So in that case, I'm really excited to get that going. All right, I'm going to change this image size because right now this is like a backdrop size. We're going to make this one 19 inches tall. That makes the file a lot smaller. And let's go ahead and switch out all of these photos and the logo and the colors. Let's see how fast we can do this. And Christelle, if you happen to be online, say something to me and I can take your notes and any questions that you have while I'm working on this for you. All right, let's do Control-0 to zoom in here, and let's pull in our images. So right now I'm going to go ahead and take these photos out. And we're going to come up with our own layout. I can go ahead and change out this logo just to see what it's going to look like. Let's drag and drop the school logo on there. And we'll just see how it presents. This doesn't look like a hard one to clean up, but we may not need to. Let's see. Okay, that doesn't look bad. And then I'm going to change the logo down here. Choose my move tool, of course. Get the little logo for the period. And let's double click. And instead of the logo, we're going to, or instead of that logo, we're going to replace it. And this will become the punctuation. Let me go ahead and clean that up. Make this file as small as possible. Because this one is just the PNG file, but whenever I go live and you give me permission to go live to do your PNG designs, if I have the opportunity to do it, then I will usually send you that Photoshop file for the free ski. Okay. We need to change the colors here. So the colors, I'm going to grab the colors from the logo here. And the smaller logo is probably going to be best. Let me take that period. And see how we have the period on the just did it, but this logo is more oval. So I have to kind of shift it over and cover that existing period up. Because I have it on there so that if you don't have a logo, you can just put the period there. But this is a way of kind of making it your own. All right, just did it 2021. I'm going to go ahead and, should I make this a smart color? I don't know, I might not have time right now. All right, let me just show you how to edit this thing. I'm so obsessed with my little smart colors now that I want to redo like all my templates. But your girl ain't got that kind of time right now. Actually, I did make this one a smart color. I did. On this particular job though. All right, so let me get the color of the yellow. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit and use my color picker. Grab that yellow. Copy that hex code. Now, they look like they use more like navy blue and gold. So I think that yellow is a little off. I think it should be a little more pull it down towards the oranges, more of this color. So I'm going to make it that color. Yep, blue and gold. So even in her description, she says it's blue and gold. So I'm going to make it the gold that I want, and it's a little bit different than this existing gold. It's still a little yellowish, but it's not as lemon. The other color was more like a lemon yellow. Let's also do the blue, and I think the blue is a navy blue from me looking at the graduation photo here. So let's grab that blue and see what the hex code is. It's a blue, it's a true blue. I'll copy that. Double click on the gradient here, change out this color swatch to the blue now. And then I will update this. So for this particular job, I did make it a smart color just to see how it played out with this template. All right. Yeah. See, that's the beauty of the smart color. I didn't even have to change the background. Once I changed that gradient, it updated for the text and for the background. So now all I have to do is bring in my photos. So I'm going to go to where the photos were previously. And just drag all of my photos at once. So I'm going to hold down the control, well, select one, hold down the control, select photo 2, photo 3, and photo 4. Drag and drop them right onto my artboard. 1, 2, let's bring that one down a little bit. 3 and 4. And then of course I am going to make this a 13 by 19. So let me make a mask for that. I have this slate mask already, so I'm just going to grab this slate mask from here and literally drag it onto this artwork here. So let's see how that works. Pick it up, drag it. And it didn't drag it as, oh, how about this? Real quick. I'm trying to avoid going to have to get my mask, but I might just have to. Let me grab my new grunge. It's easier to do it this way. But I suppose if you were doing one template to another template, I can show you that. So I would literally have to bring over this whole kind of folder that has the grunge layer on it. Or if I had, this is what I'll do. I'll make a layer. So I don't want to bring this whole folder over. So I'm just going to create a new layer somewhere. I'll drag it all the way up to the top so I remember to delete it off of this one. And then from that layer, I'm going to grab one of my layer masks and just alt click and drag it and then just drop it on that layer. So when I go up, see that layer now has a layer mask on it? Cool. Now I can drag it from this file to this file, drop it like it's hot, and it's right there for me. Oh, it's because it was empty. Let me fill it with something. This gets on my nerves sometimes. So let me fill it with something so it won't be empty. There it goes. All right. So now we can drag and drop that over. Boom, Control T. Now I can transform it. It needs to be linked to transform it together. There we go. Right, and all I'm going to do is control click this area here that has active pixels. And if I turn off the eyeball here, you kind of see what's going to be selected. And honestly, before I even do that, I'm going to make sure this is centered. And you see those little magenta lines that pop up? That's how I know I'm good and centered. And I want to leave a little bit of clean space outside of here because I hate to think that I have this nice kind of artsy edge and then the printer just cuts it off abruptly and it looks like it's got a sharp edge on it anyway. Y'all know that's one of my pet peeves, are those blunt cut off edges. All right, so I have these pixels actively selected by holding down Control while I click the thumbnail. And now when I go to my entire artwork folder, I can hit the layer mask and it basically, all those active pixels become my layer mask. All right, so now I can get rid of this because all I did was I used that in order to pull it from one file to another. So I'm going to close out of this and I'm not going to save any changes because I don't want to save the last little step that I did. All right, so now let's go ahead and build our images around this. Thinking this one will look good as far as maybe even looking like he's leaning up against the letters. Just kind of spread out the photos right now just to see what we're working with. So I'm kind of making it look like he's leaning on that there. Which honestly, I mean, the foot is leaning on something. I'm just barely missing that there. So I want it to look like his foot was resting on the letters. But I might be thinking a little too hard into it and just spending a little more time than necessary. That's kind of my MO if you don't know. Especially when it's something I really want to see. The graduation stuff, remembrance shirts and graduation are a little near and dear to me because I know those are projects that are near and dear to those that want this type of art done, and they will keep this stuff forever. They will cherish it for a lifetime, and I'm very honored by that, so I usually do put a little extra into it. All right, and I just created a layer mask here using my brush tool to fade off the image so that it doesn't have those little harsh edges. And of course, black is going to conceal while white reveals. And I'm just doing this for each of the photos so I know how much of the image is going to need to show. So let's go ahead and create a new layer mask. Grab that brush tool. Thank you, Tiffany. I'm just seeing your comment. If you're gone already, that's cool. I understand. Tiffany says, God bless. Thank you. Logging off to get back to work. And I know that feeling. I know a lot of times I would love to just be able to just, sit here and chat with y'all all day because honestly, it gives me a lot of ideas and motivation to get, new content to you. But at the same time, I have to literally cut myself off from the world in order to get creative works done. And sometimes that feels like, you know, abandonment to some people, but really and truly, let me see if I can use one of these tools here to get rid of that. Unless she just wants the word love on her forehead, you think? Let me see if I can clean it off. Let's see here. And I don't use these tools a lot, but let's see, spot healing. Let's try that. Okay, that looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good. Oh, I knew it was going to do that. At some point in time, it's trying to. Come on, why is it thinking the black is what I want? And you know what? I should have been doing this on another layer. I'm tripping. I am so tripping right now. Okay, so let me do this. Let me do a new layer. Let's see. Oh, I can also do the clone. This was my old school way of doing stuff too. Oh, my brush tool is not working right. Like my brush is like super concentrated and tiny whenever I'm doing these live sessions now. I don't know if this is something that's going on with the update that I did to Photoshop or if it's using too many resources. So my brush tool is acting real funky, but let's see. I haven't used the patch tool. Let me see what it does. If you don't know what something does, you can go to learn more. I have a patch tool. Let's see. See, this is me actively learning. I don't use this patch tool. Learn how to replace a selected area with pixels from another part of your image. Select the patch tool from the toolbar. If you can't find the patch tool, click and hold on the spot healing brush to show the other related tools. In the toolbox, or in the tool options bar, choose normal as the patch option. So normal is selected here. Select either source or destination. So I'm thinking, I don't know. Let's start with source because I think that with the patch tool selected, draw a selection border over an area image you want to replace. To patch the source, drag your selection to an area that contains matching detail. What? Oh, neat. Oh, look at that. Okay. All right, patch tool. So let me do Control D to deselect, see what that looks like. Okay, I can live with that. And I think now let's use our healing brush to kind of just smooth that out around there. All right. That was my first time using the patch tool. I like it. All right, and then here's the deal. Whenever I have images that have stuff cut off, either I'm going to creatively place it behind something, which that's what I'm going to see if we can do, because creative placing it behind something means that that's less work. Let's go ahead and update this image and see what it looks like. Perfect. Awesome. So Lisa and Latoya, and I'm old school Photoshop. So it takes me like it really takes me like being in a pinch to learn some of these cool features. And they don't even have to be new. This could have been something that existed 10 years ago. But I'm one of those people, like I just started using the pen tool a couple years ago. Well, maybe like 4 years ago now. Because I was just so bent on the pen tool was just more work. I just started using some of the features like the smart colors that I think I made up. Smart objects, they used to be intimidating. Or even if it wasn't intimidating, I just thought, I know I got my ways. I'm gonna do it my way. And I'm starting to discover that some of the things that I used to do, or I still do the hard way, are very much features that Photoshop has inherent now. Yeah, the cloning stamp tool, even because even back in the day, I had the cloning stamp tool and I never used it. So I've got to do, like, this is time that I need to spend to learn some different tools too, especially so that I can, help you all figure out how to make life easier. Because if it makes my life easier as an experienced person, I absolutely know that it would help you all out. All right, so I'm looking at this image, and because it's cut off here, I'm probably going to flip it because it's not like, let me make sure that the necklace that she has on doesn't have like words on it. It looks like an A or something like that. So if I flip it, it probably would give me the same image. Like, I hate flipping something and it had words on it and then it doesn't look right. So we'll figure that part out. But I want to go ahead and get my just did it to the size that I want it to be here. So that's all my just did it. Let's do Control T and let me get that where I want it. Right, so I like that. Now I can kind of get my logos where I want them. And these are just like accents. You don't even have to use these watermark logos. I just think it kind of fills out the area and gives you something interesting. We do have that's our little throw caps. Maybe I'll put them up high, do Control T and kind of make sure we can see what's going on there. And let's grab our photos from wherever they went. Control T, make them a little smaller. So Lisa and Latoya, looks like y'all can teach me some stuff then. We need to do the like the switch up classes where y'all show me what y'all know, because I know there's some things that you probably notice when I do them. There might be an alternative way. I see y'all say stuff all the time, even in class. Y'all are giving me suggestions, which I really appreciate. Let's take our just did it, pull it down a little bit. And if there are some things that I want to come outside of the mask, then there are ways that I do that as well. I'm going to take the photo and bring it on top, just so like that arm right there could be outside of the mask. And then that way it looks like a little more 3D, right? Same thing here with this photo. Now the photo needs to be underneath the letters, but outside of the mask. So that means that my mask would not be on my entire artwork, but that my mask should be, I start with my mask usually on my templates at the background layer. And do I have it? Well, in order to put it on the background layer, I've got to create a background group. So I'm going to take all of this right here and call this our background group. I'll even take that logo there, group. Let's call this the background. And then I'm going to take this layer mask now. Alt, click and drag it down to the background layer. There we go. All right, and like I said, for this photo, I think I'm going to flip it, Control T, and flip it horizontal, just so that I don't have to build hair here. The fact that the image is cut off won't be that big of a deal because it'll kind of be behind the text. And then let me see what it looks like behind the text, because then I have to place it behind the text. And I think what I want to do is kind of like, I think I'll do each person on a given side. And although these aren't high quality images, these are still good, like good images. I think they capture the kids well. And of course, I'm going to fade off that image. So let's go to photo 4, create a little layer mask here. And let me just grab a little paintbrush and just fade that on off. You can also use the gradient tool, but the reason why I like to use the paintbrush, because sometimes I want it to kind of have like a rounded edge, or I don't want to just straight fade it from the bottom. So that looks good. Now I'm going to take this logo here and kind of more center it. So it kind of looks like it's layered there. And this image here, let's go ahead and pull it out of the background. So that way she kind of pops out the frame a little bit there. I like that. Now this one, I don't need to pop out because it already kind of fades off here. So I can take this image and put it into my background, and it kind of fades it off there, but it caught too much of her face. So let me see if I can Control T, bring that down a little bit. Nope, I think I'm going to bring it back out and just fade off the hair a little bit, because I don't like how it's making so much of her face disappear, and I don't want to have to make her photo much smaller. All right, so let me just reduce the size of my brush a little bit here. And I'm kind of fading off the red shirt because I know it kind of clashes with the theme color a little bit. There we go. I think that looks better. All right, I think that's good. Let me see if we need to add any names or anything like that. I think we're gonna just use, I'll use the text style in here, but I don't want to use this font. This is the Flame font from Innate Lab. I don't want to use this font because I want it to be a little simpler. So let's just Alt click and drag a version of this just so that we have a copy. And then I'll leave that on there. If you want like the back of the shirts to have that on there, I will just leave that on there. Turn it off. And then let's go ahead and recolor this with the smart color. So let's Alt click and drag this up. We'll go ahead and right click and create a clipping mask so that it clips just to the word mom. Let's go with the effects here. I change my blending options, and then also color overlay, I'm going to turn that off. So it should really be showing like a silver overlay right now, right? And same thing with the outside stroke. I'm going to turn off that yellow gold so it becomes silver. And let's go ahead and do Control T And this is where I was telling you that you can just show half, like without having to recolor everything. So that's my gold part, that's my blue part, and this is my blue fading to gold. So you have those options where you can choose whichever you want. All right, and then I'm of course going to change this text. Oh, this is actually supposed to say Team Lamarck. So I may leave the Team Lamarck in that font. Let me get my recoloring back on there. And then we'll play with making this stroke a little bit smaller so it's not so distracting. But let me see what all we need to put on here. So we'll take this same kind of smart color deal here with the text. I'm going to alt click and drag it, make a copy of it. And then let's change this whole font up right now. What did y'all say that y'all like before? The animal script? This one is called Amertha. So I kind of like that instead. I don't want. All right, so I like that text a little bit better, and I think I could still use the text for the names and then just make the names a little bit smaller. You see now we're kind of losing a lot of our design elements, which doesn't matter because the idea is that you're getting the image of the kids and the text across that you want to get across. So I'm just kind of resizing some of my elements to see if I still even want them to fit in there, and I think that does well. Let's see, so let's go ahead and take the smart color that goes with this. Control T so I can see where it is. I'm going to bring it down. And I like that. So let's do the same thing. I'm going to alt click and drag and do the names. And I'm just going to scale it down. And of course, I will take this one now and Alt click and drag. If I hold down Shift, see how it stays at that same level? And then let's copy and paste. And I like to copy and paste names and dates just so that I don't have the responsibility of messing up someone's name. Shanon, I'm going to have to push him in just a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and link these two right now, the name and the smart color, so that when I move one, the other moves as well. Then that way I can go ahead and close up these effects and move these independently. So let's say for Shamar, we might want to put it up here instead of down bottom. I think I'll do the same for Antoinette. So then the team Lamarck is at the bottom. If I want to make sure that I move these to the same level, I can take both. So I'll hold down Control, select both of the names here, and then I'm going to just skewer it down the center. And that just lined that up for me. And then I can proof it to the customer, see how she feels about it. I'm probably going to do something about this red plaid right here because it's kind of sticking out to me. And I don't want to take up too much time to do it, but I'm going to do a quick hue saturation master change and just like change it to, let's see, it'd be probably easiest to change it to yellow without being conspicuous. And then I will just paint out the face on here. That's a real, we also could do the thing that we just did, the color replacement, which probably would be easier because while I'm doing this live, this thing is really messing with my brush. Let me create a clipping mask. And it's my fault too because I have a million things that I need to take off my hard drive. So I've been, let me save, knock on wood, I've been pushing my hard drive lately. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. You know, the same, see how it's like doing concentrated brush strokes and it's supposed to be soft brush strokes? It's tripping at the present moment. Or maybe I'm tripping because I technically am the one that created this problem by having too much on my hard drive. Alright. It seems like it would have been much easier to do with the color change with how my brush is functioning. Like I said, this is one of my old school methods that I might choose over a more convenient method that I would just not be used to. Hey, you know what? I think what happened was the image was originally mirror image because it looks like now I can read this. So I might have done a good thing by flipping it. And I'm also going to turn down the saturation. This is taking forever. This is not how this usually works. Alright, so the reason why I had to pretty much recolor her face too is because it was changing the reds basically to yellow. And of course her flesh tones have red in it. So I was just trying to make it so that it didn't stand out so much. And I think we achieved that. So we're going to leave that on alone. Now here's another thing. If you want to change, like I now want to change my smart color, since I have it linked to the name, it won't move independently. So I will have to unlink it. in order to change what this does. All right, and I need to make sure that this is 13 by 19 because I had this as a square orientation before. That looks good. And I don't check off the delete crop pixels because sometimes I have some background elements that that I want to keep whatever's bleeding off the edge in case I want to resize it later. And if you hit delete crop pixels, it will literally delete that data. So outside of the artboard, you will never be able to get those pixels that existed outside of the artboard again. All right. So I think this one is done. We have everything that we need to have on here. Oh, the school's name. Let's see. If there's anything else positive, she'll let me know. So we'll go ahead and save this one. I'm going to make it a PNG as well. All right, so let me go ahead and send this one off. Thank you, Lisa. And I see you got some good comments in here too. Let's see. A good thing for you to do is to save your template files with a Psdt so it will stay the same, and to save as PSD for the changes. You know what? That is an excellent suggestion. Like I said, my old school way is to open up my PSD file and do save as. But I have run into an issue before where I forgot to hit save as and I accidentally saved, and it saved over the template. As I know, I know a lot of the members have done that same thing because sometimes I see it in class, and then I'll tell them, hey, well, at least you have the source file, you can re-download it again and not mess with it. But I definitely need to do that. Let me see if I can do it now. I want to try this out. Save as, and I can save it as a PSD template, PSDT, or do I save it at is that a feature here? File. I don't think it's a save as. Let me check and see. Save as. I've never even noticed a PSD2. I do. I've done templates before in Illustrator, but never in Photoshop. I wonder if it's a new file. Well, I have to learn that. Lisa, if you have some pointers for me, maybe we can do a little flip session because I would love to see what the things that you feel would make the process better for you all as clients, and then also makes me a better teacher. Oh, just literally put the extension at the end, PSDT. Okay. Um, let's do it. Is that a PSB? Just put a T. All right. And let me check it out. Let me check it out. All right, so same file here. And now see 121 versus 124. So I think this is it. Oh, it still saved it as a PSB though. Let me take the extension off and see what happens. And this is not my original file, so I don't mind like changing the extension and it doing something crazy. So now as a PSBT extension, and I'm going to tell it that I want Photoshop to open this. Uh-oh. So it didn't do it for me. And I don't know if it's because maybe I have a PC and you have a Mac or something, but I'll look that feature up later because I think that will be a cool feature for me not to worry about messing up my files. And when the customer downloads them, then whenever they create a variation, they keep their original file. So that would be cool. Definitely. All right, so y'all give me just a moment so I can go ahead and send this thing on over. And I think I have one more. I don't know if y'all like watching me randomly do these videos of the client art, but if y'all like it, then I love it and I will continue to do it. All right, so I am sending this over. And then let me delete this PSBT just for right now because I don't want to be confused. And the other thing is I save a lot of my files as the large format, sometimes depending on what size it is. And then folks think that they can't open it in Photoshop, but I want y'all to know that all you have to do is just like I did just now, I right click on the file and I'm telling my computer that Photoshop is the appropriate program to open it. And it trains my computer if I hit that box that says always open these type of files with this program. And that's something you'll have to do if you want to like basically train your computer which files to open up in Photoshop. And I'm just grabbing my source files now to send over. Yeah, because normally, let's see. Yep, my PSBs are my big files. Let's share the link. All right, and I think, is that it? I think I have one. Nope, that's it. There's another one that I'm going to do to, well, maybe I can go ahead and do that for her too. But now what I really need to do is go ahead and get ready for class tomorrow before I get all tired today. So we already saved this one. Lawanda, that's a great question. Oh, PSDT. I got you. Yeah, because it was already a PSB. Got you, love. So I'll check on that. I'm gonna look up the benefits of doing that because that's something that I really should be doing. Lawanda, if you want to do custom design, it's very it's very easy to go ahead and do it on here. Now, when you say custom design, if it's not a template, okay, so there are different. Trying to go to the main website here. Here we go. There are different ways that you can do templates, so to design and print services. So if you need me to design something where a template already exists, right? And you just need help redesigning it, changing the colors, changing out the images, the text, that sort of thing. If you want an actual custom design, you can do it here too. What happens is when you choose what your template choice is, right? The template choice should be an innate lab template. If it is not an innate lab template, then typically what I will do is respond and say, hey, this is a great idea, but it's not a template as of yet, so I will have to make it a template. If I have to custom make a template, then it does take extra time and it usually comes with the extra price. Now, I don't exclusively design templates for people, so even if I design a template with any suggestion that you have, it's pretty much a template that I will probably offer to others as well. So if I do something like that, then if I do it live online, then I will do it with no additional cost to you because basically I'm going to end up offering it anyhow. But if it's a template design that I probably won't offer to anyone else and it would very much be exclusive to you because I won't do it, then I will have an extra charge. But it just really depends on what the project is. And I have people asking me to do stuff all the time, but this is the way to get through a custom design and pretty much have me evaluate it to see what it's going to look like. A lot of times people think it's a custom design, and really I use one of the templates and just a different way of utilizing one of the templates. So let's say if you wanted a, a birthday shirt, then and you wanted it to kind of like have the designer kind of Gucci feel to it, then I might use this template here and just revise it and make a different version where it looks like the feel that you want. And it's not necessarily, a from scratch type of design template. So it just depends on what you want. So if you fill this out at the very least, either we're going to proceed with it or I'll write you back and say, hey, we would need an additional fee of X amount because this is a from scratch project. Okay. Lisa, if you want this one is, what is the name of the template? I'm looking up online right now. This one is, if you just type in Nipsey, it'll have that. It has the Oliver version and it has the 13 by 19 version. But you can also type in the word remembrance if you're looking for remembrance shirts. A lot of times I have really long file names because I'm trying to make it something that is searchable. Yep, just like E just said. Go to that link and just type in the word Nipsey. Cool, cool. And Lisa, it sounds like you might be, if you're interested, appropriate for a program that we're doing for business partners. If you're really into Photoshop this way and you've been using it, know how to do all of these tricks and things of that nature. So do me a favor and message us on the contact us page of the website and mention about the business partner affiliate program. And I have some opportunities, and that's for any of you all here. Have some opportunities for artists, also for folks that have the large format printers and want to be able to offer print services with the templates. We have some agreements that we're working out for basically licensing to be able to help others create the PNGs and also prints. And I will have preferred vendors for printing, other than myself, because we do prints as well. But it'll be a select group of people who will be promoted through the Innate Creatives group and other means that will have the license ability to promote other than the end products, because everybody can use these templates on the end products, but there will only be a select chosen few to be able to sell the PNG artwork, sell the screen prints, sell the if you want to do sublimation prints. So there will be a very tight and monitored list of those people with certain perks that come with that. So if you, oh, the Just Did It. Oh, that one is Just Did It. I think if you type in Just Did It, it'll pop up. Yep. So this one is more of an image that doesn't have a background, and I just added a background to it. So if you want this exactly as it is, I can make it a template and post it online. Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, this might even look like a different design just because it has the mask layer on it. So I will do that one as a template and post it. All right. So that's it, loves. I think I'm caught up on artwork except for one, and that one doesn't want to do it live, so I don't want to put their project live. Wait, I might have one more. Oh, Latoya. Latoya, are you here? Latoya Jackson? Um, I was, yep, I saw you earlier. Let me know if you're still here, love, because I didn't forget about you, but I almost did. All right, Lisa, so I will have to change out the photos on this one because I don't have permission to use this one because this is someone else's. So I think I have quite a few photos from last time. And what happens is, and as a matter of fact, Lisa, if you have some photos that you have the permission to use and want to use them for this, what I do is if I post the template in the group and I'll say, everybody, post your photos and whichever photos I choose to use, those folks will get the template for free. I do that pretty frequently when I do a new template drop. And also, if you want to get it done quicker, probably I'll need some photos to switch out here. So if you have some, great. Then I'll just have to see which ones I have left over. And if I choose those folks' images, then they would end up getting the template for free. Absolutely. I got you, Lisa. All right, so let me see. Latoya, if you're not here, love, I understand if you had to step away. I was just trying to get the large image for you to go ahead and get started on yours. All right, so with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and get this class ready for you all. Let me show you all what we're doing for class, just for those interested. This is a new one that we made up. Let me see if I can find it real quick. This one here. And let me see if I saved it somewhere else, because I think I have a couple of variations of this. Let me see which one we're using. Okay, this was just when I brought it down to the 13 by 19. There we go. And then we switched that one out also. And this is actually Erica, Innate Creative. She did her, we did this one live together last week. And we know that he's been hit pretty hard with some deaths, like back to back to back. And this is a project that she we designed it online together, and she went back and added some more to it and was able to change the colors of the clouds in the background, the little heart-shaped clouds in the background, and add some more photos and stuff. So although Erica came not to learn Photoshop a little over a year ago now, um, she has absolutely been a phenomenal help. She is the admin of Innate Creatives, and she is the one that's pretty much been holding this thing together, this little rickety thing together that that without her, I don't know if I'd be able to do it. So I just wanted to show off her work. She did a beautiful job, beautiful piece that honors her family, and this is her way of kind of working through some of this stuff, is to get to work. So she did it, and I wanted to give her a shout out. But this is what we're going to be working on class this Sunday. So it'll have all the elements in it. We're going to learn with this one. This will be a multi-photo project. Normally, I only let y'all bring in one photo, but for this one, you can bring in up to 3 photos. Not 4, not 5, not 6, up to 3 photos. And the reason why I say that is because I don't want us getting so caught up in class playing, because you can spend a lot of time just on placement, just like I was playing with those 4 images and figuring out where I want them to go. That's why I usually charge more per photo, not just because I have to cut out another photo, but because you have to use that mental energy to think of how you want to place things, where what effect you want to have, like balance, and or do I want to have everything left heavy and then text on the right, or whatever the case may be. It ends up being a lot of thought going into collaging or doing multiple images. So for homework, and of course I'm going to do a demo video. Okay, so demo video I'll do, let's see, it's about 2 now. So I'll probably do it somewhere around 4 or so, when I make sure that the file, I have to make sure I have it cleaned up, and then you all can, just easily read what the layers are, okay? So we'll say around 4, but I will post something saying when I do that live demonstration tonight, and you'll know exactly what we'll be doing in class, and you will know exactly what you need to come to class prepared with. Right now, I'm telling you that you only have to have 1 photo, but you can have up to 3 photos, because what I want to do is I do want to show you all how we can use the transparency to put the images in the background and not necessarily use the full opacity every single time, okay? We'll also be changing up the text like Erica did here. All of that good stuff we're going to be doing in class. So the only thing that you will need to come to class with, of course, have your files downloaded, and you'll need to have you'll have a folder. When you download it, it'll be a zip file that you can unzip, and it will have all of the files that you need. It'll be a single file. Then it will also be a font. You'll need to download a font, and in this case I think it might be 2 fonts, but they're free fonts unless they're my fonts. If they're my fonts, then I give them to y'all for free. So here is going to be 2 free for personal use fonts that you all are going to download. You're going to install those fonts before we get to class. So I have videos on all of that stuff. How you install a font is really simple. It takes less than 5 minutes. Cutting out your images. We're going to have our images already cut out via Remove BG or any other method that you want to use. So that cuts down time. So photos must be cut out, and your your font must be downloaded and installed. That's all I'm asking of you. And then everything else we're going to do in class, okay? Helena, that sounds like a great idea. A family reunion template for one of the classes. I think that would be excellent. Do me a favor. I have a post here on the Innate Creators Facebook group. It's called Requests. Let me see if I can go to it real quick, because normally when I open up Facebook with all this streaming, I end up with some issues. So let's just search for request. I think it's a I think this is it. Yep. Let's see. Well, did that not take me to the request? Yeah, y'all gotta forgive me. I don't use Facebook that much. I really do my best to give y'all my creative energy, and then I have to like not do stuff in order to like not get involved in Facebook and Instagram and stuff in order to stay busy. Let's see. So here, if you look for this post, this is where you basically vote and suggest things. So if it doesn't already have a vote or a suggestion, family reunion may or may not be on here. And even if it is, go ahead and put your suggestion and give me a couple of images of what you think about. Because here's the thing with templates. Um, it's hard to do templates like a family reunion depending on what you're actually doing. Are you putting photos of the families on there? Are we is it just going to be like a tree and a root kind of expression, that sort of thing? If you have some ideas of what you like to see for family reunion projects, we will absolutely make it our own, but give me some suggestions, something to work with, because my family reunion personal designs range from just having the name of the state that we're going to with some images, clipped and cropped into the text, to having a full, like pictures of the family tree, and laying those out, and who comes from, what lineage and everything. And those are not necessarily template based, but I can make that a template. So let me know what type of family reunion you're thinking about. Okay, so Rona says she added. I was gonna say somebody else asked that before too. So Rona's added it too, and then look for like the things that I look for when I do a class. Like I'm looking for how many, likes it has. So I'm going down here and I'll see a lot of different likes, and I'll know, okay, that's what they really want to learn. Oh, that's cool. Corey put a letter template. See, I'm just now seeing that one. Rona, there's Rona's comment. Look, confirmation. So Helena, definitely, and you might have already voted that one. And I'm actually working on this one right now, 24-inch for the all over ish hoodie. So that is a template in progress. So y'all let me know when I see these things and I see that y'all want to do Father's Day. We talked about logos. We're gonna start doing. I think over the summer we're gonna do the logo and more business building stuff, because graduation has just really taken over recently. Um, we're doing this one, the cufflinks, tie, and pocket squares. That will be next week. Oh, y'all, and I'm just sitting here talking. I'm glad y'all just sitting here through it. So the cufflinks, tie, and pocket squares, we're doing that next week's class. And I actually do physically have the cufflinks, tie, and pocket squares. So I'll probably do a free YouTube video just showing you the process of when I get a product in, how I have to create my own template, because of course it doesn't come to me with a blank template. So those of you who want to know how to make your own blank templates, we're going to be showing you that process live. And then I'll have to make a mock-up for it. And then so this class, it will have a mock-up, it will have the printable file, and then also it'll have like some patterns and things that you can change out, switch up for the lovely men in our lives who always get that afterthought when it comes to the custom stuff, you know. We want to start including them too, and designing things for the guys that don't look cheesy, that actually have like real graphic value to them, and that we have them out there looking good and proud too. Absolutely, Lisa. So Lisa's asked as well in the live. So we have quite a, and this is something I want to do. I have on my list of things to do. Um, so yeah, let me know what you have in mind for the and post them here, because the thing about it is, like, if we have a post here where Rona says family reunion, then post the pictures underneath there so then other people can vote on which images they like better. Okay. Helena, I don't have them. I don't even have them online yet. The cufflinks and pocket squares with the ties. They're not online yet. I have to vet my products first. So basically making sure my templates work with them and all that good stuff. And then I will indeed post them. It probably won't, it will not be in time for this sale, but it will be in time for the next sale, which will be our Father's Day sale. So this one's more like Mother's Day because it's May, graduation and Mother's Day. And we'll do another flash sale in June, and that one will be in honor of the fathers and the great men. Okay. But for the class, we're going to do the class now just so that you all familiarize yourself with how to design those and have some assets, some ideas in hand, ready to hit the ground running. So by next week, I will have those substrates available. So as soon as you do your class and you design that thing, if you're ready to put it on the ties and ready to make your packages and your sets and your mock-ups, you can literally right after the class, show your mock-ups and then be ready to make those items for folks. Okay. All right. So what's that with 16? The cartoon. Yep. Y'all been asking me about that too. So yeah, put your suggestions here. I do periodically look at this as, what am I going to make for class? And I know it seems like I'll be doing last minute stuff, but I promise y'all, I probably work on the class, the templates for class, and the content for the class, um, at least a day and a half worth of work to prep that for y'all. So one of these days I'll get it done sooner. I probably won't though, so I don't even want to lie to y'all. But usually I have it posted by Saturday by 6 p.m. so that you have that 24 hours to know that you're going to attend the class. And for those of you, and Erica, do you mind posting the Academy link for me, please, love? Um, the Academy is where we do our classes. So I want to show y'all there is a difference between Innate Lab, the website. All right. So we do absolutely have templates here. I call them the 10-minute templates, because you can go within these templates and change out photos, text, and colors, usually within 10 minutes. Once you get familiar with how the templates work and how they're set up. So these are templates that have like the free YouTube videos where I literally am just showing you how everything works from top to bottom with that given template. Those have free videos, right? The Academy is a little bit different. So in the Academy, see that's the video that goes with it there, the YouTube video that goes with that graphic. So with the Academy, I'm still giving you some powerful resources. In fact, you probably have templates in the Academy that you won't find, most of these you won't find on the Innate Lab website. And it's because like we're learning things as you all need them. And what I'm doing is I'm creating the assets, creating the templates just to teach you how to do certain types of designs, right? So I don't want you to feel totally inundated. Some of us are not designers. Some of us are not, good with figuring out what to pull together and piece together for a design, but we are creative. So once we see it, we like, oh, I know what color scheme I want to use. I know what graphics or what photos I want to bring in. I know what background I want to replace. But you might not be the person that knows how to pick and pull and build all those things from scratch. So the Academy teaches you the concepts of Photoshop. You're still able to learn about how to change your colors, how to do drop shadows, how to use layer masks, how to change the opacity of things, how to use your different blend modes to achieve different looks, how to cut out photos, all of that stuff we're learning. And it doesn't seem like you're learning all of these little things until you've finished up class and you have a final design by the end of one class and you realize how much you did in Photoshop in that one session. Okay, so it's not like what I'm doing right now. I'm just showing you what I'm doing, showing you my computer. In class, I don't even open my Photoshop. I am looking at your screens. I am helping you get through the entire process of start to finish with your, not only your template, but your final design that you came to class looking to achieve. Okay. So all of these, when you come to class, you're going to want to have a final design that you can post on your social media, on your business pages. So when you come to class ready to make money as soon as we're done with class. And Lisa, I'll go ahead. I will add that template. But as a matter of fact, if I go ahead and find some photos tonight, I will do my, because this is the other thing about a template. I can't just post the template. I have to show a video demonstration of how the template works. So in this case, I will, when I switch out those photos, I will definitely do it, the video recording of that, and then that will be a template. Okay. And then that will be a another graduation design because we have been tearing up some graduation designs. So this one was class number 130 where we did all over, and I still need to make this a stole like 125. I was telling you 125 designs the stole, the 13 by 19 t-shirt, and also an all over t-shirt version off of the same, changing just a few files or a few elements within the file, like I said, the smart color, the and the photos, and then everything else pretty much automatically changes for you. So you change it for one object, you change it for the sole, and it will automatically update the t-shirt. Or you change it for the t-shirt, and it will automatically update those features for the sole and the all over. All right, so I have some work built out for the day. Let me see if there's anything else I can address that I need to go on and do. All right, hold on a second. I see another question. Rona, at what point does it make sense to sub our own family reunion shirts as opposed to user transfers or contract out to a screen printer? Well, see, here's the thing. If and Rona, this is like so serious. If you're doing like a one color design for a family reunion, you should just order the plastisol transfers and print your own shirts because they're not even a fraction of what you would pay a screen printer to do single color prints. You know how to source your shirts. The transfers, I know I use FM Expressions most of the time. I haven't had any issues, any major issues that they have never corrected with that company. I know there are many companies that offer the plastisol transfers right now. That's how most family reunion shirts want to be done. Let me see. Let me see if what I can pull up on my Google Drive for family reunion. And when I tell y'all I need to know like what you want to see, I have files galore that I've created over time. So I need to know like what you want to make into a template. So like this design is a simple design. We could make it into a template, of course, that's editable. Um, this is one that I did for our 2018 reunion, and it was a lot of work, because you have to kind of know like who folks are. Then you have to compile all of these photos, and that was probably the hardest part. And kind of figure out placement depending on how many people you have at each level. So this is top level. This is the next generation. That's the third generation, and this is the fourth generation. So it was a little difficult doing this one, but I don't know if I would necessarily call this a template because it depends on, you might have, two people here and one person here and 12 people here. So I guess the levels would matter. But do y'all want to learn how to do that type of design and template, or something more like, um, let me see, back together again, something like that? I have, a lot of tree roots, and it's a family affair. I can make all of these into templates. And these will be very easy templates. Like, because these will be single color printed, literally you can make shirts for less than $3 per shirt, depending on the shirt type that you get in. So let's say you go in with the Gildens, the 5,000s or the 2,000s. You're usually able to get those color shirts for around about $1.78, something like that. So let's just round it up to $2. You can get your prints for less than $1 a print, especially if you're doing single colors. So for about $2.50 a shirt, as long as it's not the 2X, 3X and above, you're printing your own family reunion shirts. Now, if it gets like real heavy and you don't want to press 500 shirts or something, then yeah, send those to a screen printer just to not to have to deal with the hands on. But as far as cost wise, because you already have a heat press, you already have the most expensive equipment that you need in order to do your own family reunion shirts. So y'all let me know what type of family reunion you're talking about. What does this one say? We may branch off in different directions, yet we still come from the same roots. That's a design that I did, that I have. Um, yeah, little roundup with the boot. And then sometimes people send me images of family reunion stuff, and then they want me to, kind of go off of that, like this Wakanda forever, and then they wanted the family name forever. Absolutely, I can do that. But y'all just have to tell me what you want to see. Okay. If I were to go through all of the different files that I have, my God, this is a sublimation family reunion, and this is just text. And it's got a little bit of graphic in the background. But I need to go through each and every one of these. Yeah, each and every one of these, and make these templates for y'all. This is why I was saying I have to stay off of social media, because it's enough for me to keep me busy just building this academy and building out the templates on Innate Lab. Mhm. Oh, and here's one of the specials I used to have when I had a brick and mortar store. I would do $7 per shirt, one side, one color, minimum of 30 shirts, and I would do the design for free. But the design is not free. Do you know why? Because I also have a promotion that I do for businesses, small businesses, churches, and family reunions, where I do $6 per shirt, but the design fee is not free. So it's $7 a shirt. I'm charging $30 for a design fee. You understand? Because I'm doing 30 shirts and I'm charging $1 per shirt. They don't know that the design fee is built in. So when I have a special, I'm trying to keep that in mind too, that I don't want to be bogged down with design and then I can't complete the actual, the orders, the shirts. So family reunion, if you can go ahead and start advertising that now, you can absolutely do these one color designs. And even if it's a two color, you're just going to be paying more per color. So, but yeah, I like this idea here with the lungs looking like trees. And especially, lately with all this going on, I think that this is very fitting of what's going on with COVID, what's going on with, the police brutality issues that are being brought to the forefront. So just breathing in general with the trees, that would be a cool one. I save all of these things too. Like this is an inspiration image. That's not, my image, but I save them because I really do feel like it spoke to me at some point in time, and I want to use it towards a graphic. So if y'all let me know, then I'll make it happen. That's where all of the latest classes that we've had so far have all come from you telling me what y'all need, okay? So I promise I listen to y'all. Sometimes it may take a little while for me to do what I'm supposed to do, just like a parent to a child. You tell your child 30 times what to do, and then eventually they get it, it clicks. Eventually I get it and it clicks. Thank you, Rona. I appreciate that. All right, love. So it looks like y'all want some stuff posted for this flash sale, some templates too. So I'll see what I have. Maybe I can throw some new stuff up there for templates because I have some templates that I have not done a release yet. I'm not gonna promise anything because y'all know how it gets when I kind of sign up for something and I'm tired and can't pull through. So I don't want to promise anything, but I will definitely get this one that I just did because it's already ready. Okay. So that one will be up, and then I'll see if I can put some bonus stuff up for y'all because some of y'all already have all of the entire collection of the Innate Lab templates, and so y'all tired of being able to come to these flash sales, and you already collected all the Pokemon. I understand, and I feel your struggle. All right, so I will post this new one, and I'll probably have a couple more things up on the website. I feel you, Rona. I know that's you. All right, love. So I will get back to y'all real soon with what we're gonna do for class. And if y'all give me a little time, maybe I'll also be able to post some more template material today, okay? All right, so if y'all have any questions about the Academy or about Innate Lab, make sure that you go to the Innate Creatives Facebook group. We have a tech support, and then we also have if they're like template issues. So make sure that you're posting there and then tag Erica Kane, and she'll be able to help you. We also will be having more coaches. So well, not more coaches, but we'll be having some coaches. So Erica is admin, but she's also a coach. She also designs. She also does her blinging group. So if y'all are interested in learning how to do the bling shirts, that's what she does. With the new blinger slinging, make sure you look out for that. So Erica does a lot, and we're going to start implementing some folks within the group who can help out with some other things. And it will be like it's paid help. So when y'all need help with things, but I'm just basically seeing the growth of the people who have been working with me from the very beginning and offering them some opportunities to earn within the group by also helping you all out. Okay, so we're going to grow this network together, and this is what I envision it to be. It's growing, and I'm really excited about the direction that it's taking and how we're able to expand our businesses at the same time. Like nobody's taken away from anybody else. We're all growing. You are absolutely welcome, Lisa and Julia. Oh, Latoya, you're here. I was asking about you earlier. Okay, so Latoya, I'm going to send you a link if you can show me, because I need to see what's going on with how you're unable to send the file, okay? So let's see what's going on with that. Mm-mm-mm. All right, so I'm going to do an invitation to Zoom for you. And I'm on your email right now, so I'm going to send that right over to you. And let me know, well, I guess I'll know when you're on because it'll show that. Right, so Latoya, I have the Zoom session active. As soon as you can join, show me. And y'all, this is also how we're able to do the classes. We do Zoom, and what it is each person can share their screen whenever they're called on, so nobody's left behind. And then you have a separate screen where you view the session. So you might have a TV that you have hooked up to your laptop. You might have a second monitor. Some people have to use a totally different device, like an iPad or another laptop, to view the Zoom on that. And I actually, I don't have a problem with that right now because the classes aren't so big, that you can take up 2 seats if you need to on Zoom. And let me see where my Zoom is now. Oh, I see you. Okay. I just admitted you in there. Okay. And Toya, this is it, it might be a little bit odd. I'm gonna mute the Zoom just in case it ends up sounding funky. Y'all let me know how it sounds on your end. Go ahead and share your screen with me. And I don't have you pulled up on the YouTube right now, just because I don't know if you have anything personal on your screen just yet. But I want you to show me what's happening when you're trying to upload, and I can help you out. And then maybe we can even go ahead and get this art project. If it's an art project or a print file, let me know. And you can go ahead and unmute yours because I think it would be quicker for you to talk to me here. And then I think I have to turn off my speaker.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
All right, Toya, let me know if you can hear me okay.
Can you hear me, Miss Shannon? Miss Shannon, can you hear me?
I can't hear you now.
Okay, I can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me, and I can hear you now. I don't know if it has any feedback or whatever on YouTube right now, but yeah, go ahead. Oh, I have to allow you to share the screen, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Gotta do a little work on my part. So I think I just allowed you to share your screen. Let me know if that works for you.
Yes.
All right, awesome. And do you mind if I go ahead and share your screen now? Is there anything showing up that you don't want to show?
Hold on, let me just click out of my email real quick. Okay, I think we're good.
Okay, is it showing the screen yet? Because I don't show the screen share on this end just yet. Hold on.
Okay, there it goes.
All right, there it is. All right, so let's pull that on over. Okay, so show me what's going on for you, and then this will probably help others as well.
Okay, so I am trying to. There was an issue that I've been having since yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
uploading files to the website for the print, for you to print out a couple things for me. So someone, I guess, emailed and told me to just send just a small thumbnail file and then email over the bigger file.
Right.
Okay, so whenever I went to try to do the bigger file, it still is telling me that it's too large to send. I guess you have to send it through cloud. Not sure if I have the Google Cloud.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're doing it from a Mac and it's telling you to send it by cloud. Okay, so let me see what that process looks like for you because that probably is a large file. And if you're doing it through, like if you're sending it through Gmail, you should have an option. Is that your Gmail or that's something else?
No, this is my Gmail. This is what I
Okay.
was going to do
So
it
when
from.
okay, and when you reply to that and you try to attach a file, what happens?
Okay, this is the file. I'm not sure even which one that I sent over already, but it was a couple. I think I
You've
sent. I'm
been
not.
working. Look at you.
I have, and I actually did that one myself, but and they wanted that one, but I'm not sure which one I had already sent over. I think it was two. I think those two I sent over, and I think it was another. This one I know for sure, and it's one more that I was trying to send over, but it wouldn't allow me to do so. Let me see. I know it's this one as well, but it wasn't allowing me to do so.
Okay, so let me see. Oh, it looks like you're sending the PSB file. If you save it as a JPEG or even if you saved it as a PNG, let's go to that file first, and we're gonna notice the difference in size too, more than likely. Is that
So
is that
just
is that the Photoshop file or is that yeah, that's the Photoshop file.
yeah, it should pull up as the Photoshop file once I click on it. I've been doing a lot of work, by the way.
I see, and I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
I'm like, y'all don't understand. This makes me really, really proud to see y'all pumping this work out.
Oh, well, I guess you'll see a lot once this Photoshop open.
I
I've been
know,
doing
right?
a lot of
And
work.
I know that's gonna take some time too. So when you have your Photoshop file open, even if it stalls now and wants you to get off of Zoom in order to do this, because sometimes that's how our computers are, then what you want to do is file save as. Now I tell you to save it as a JPEG, just because some people export, and if you export as a PNG, it does some weird kind of way that it resamples your image size. But if you do save as a PNG or save as a JPEG, then it keeps your size and your dimensions intact. And that's been the biggest thing that I see where people like want to send me the Photoshop file because they're like, oh, it's not doing what I want it to do.
Right.
And let me ask you this too: is it going to be a T-shirt in a certain size?
Yes, this size is I have one on a 4X and then the other ones are 3 and 2X.
Gotcha.
So one of them I do need. That's where I guess I was having the trouble. One of them I definitely need a 4X, and then the others I need just like a 3. You know, the regular sizes.
Well, just and this I'm glad we're having this issue and this discussion right now because we just discovered that you can use the 36 by 44 inch for a 4X but not a 5X. But you're going to be maxing it out and like you'll only have about an inch of a bleed without having to go up in size to the 44 inch, because there's another listing that I think is $21 for the 4X 5X size sheet. But if you're doing a 4X, you can keep it to the 36 by 44. You just have to be careful when you're laying it out. You don't have the basically I think you have a 2 inch bleed space on everything from the 3X and down, and you only have a 1 inch bleed space for the 4X on that same template.
Okay.
So now let me see. But is this on the artboard? Is this a 36 by 44 artboard?
It's on the 5X one, I think.
Okay, got you.
5X. It's yeah, it's on the 4X 5X.
Okay. So if that's the case, and I understand why you want to design it for the biggest, so that basically, so if you want to do it where it does 4X or 5X, just because, are you using the vapor shirts or a different 4X?
No, it's a different one.
So I know for a fact the Vapor 4X will fit on the. So if you aren't sure and you don't want to waste the print, then yes, still submit this as a 4X 5X. Just do save as right now, and let's save this one as the. Let's see. Go up to file for me, and then I can turn on my markers. You know how I do. Let's go to file. Let's go to save as. And then you could turn this off if you want to see this keep showing up talking about saving on the cloud. And
Okay.
and I know that's probably aggravating. And then go ahead and save it to your computer wherever you remember to save it. And instead of saving it as a Photoshop file, come here to the format.
Hmm.
Let's do a JPEG. And then that should be good there. And place it wherever you want to as far as folders go. All right, and you can
Okay.
go ahead and save it.
Okay.
All right, and then you want it to be on quality of 12, which it is. It's maxed out. That's good to go. You can hit OK. All right, so now that is saved as a JPEG just for the 4X, right? So did you design this separately for the 3X, or you were going to use the same exact layout for the 3Xs and smaller?
I was gonna use this same exact layout. I only have 4 shirts with this one design, so there are. It's just this one was the 4X, and then the others were the other sizes.
Okay, so what I want to test though is whether you see how go ahead and turn on, where is your one that says keep turn off for printing, your layer that has the guides on it.
This
It looks like it may. It's okay. Go ahead and turn on this one that says turn on for print. And you see how close you are to the edges here. Now the photos probably wouldn't be so bad. But we need to make sure that with the 3X and smaller, that we're not going to cut off anyone's face, and we're not going to cut off these, important words, right?
right.
So now what you can do, instead of having to redesign this, do you have your blanks, your blank, I think it says 21M and it goes small to 3X, that blank
Yes,
template, you know where that is?
ma'am.
If you can open that, I'll show you how to drag from one file to this file, and or as a matter
Uh,
of fact, yeah, just that one right there with the pink. That's it right there. That basic. Yep. Let me get all these marks off your screen. So here's the deal. Instead of showing you how to make that one, let me just show you real quick how you can place your JPEG. So you can either go to your folder and drag and drop it onto this artboard, or you can go to File, Place, Embedded. So whichever one you prefer. So yep, let's go to
uh,
Place, Embedded right there. And I'm gonna have to change the color of my marker for a second. All right, and I think you put it in your downloads folder. So
it
this
might
is,
show myself in a
okay, there
recent,
you
but
go, your recents. Okay. You
um,
know what, how do you have your folder sorted? Is it alphabetically?
I don't even know how to
Go,
do.
see if, it, and I don't know if this works for Macs, but scroll up a little bit. Let me see, if you right click in white space, right click right here. Because this is what we do on, this is, yeah, so in PCs, we can right click and then sort by, and we can tell it how to sort it. But I think you have to do something different up top with yours. because I like to sort mine by most recently used. Because more than likely, I don't care what is named. If I used it last, it's towards the top. So group items by. We don't want to group them by. Go back to that because that looks like what you needed. Um, yeah, well, let's. If you want to group them by date modified, that probably would be your best bet. And then you can sort it by the latest modified. So scroll all the way up, and that is that him right there.
Yes, ma'am. It's this one.
Okay, so just take that and drag and drop it onto your artboard and let it go.
It didn't work.
Try it one more time. Did you let it go over the artboard?
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
we're doing place. We're not drag and dropping. Just hit place. I'm so used to teaching y'all to drag and drop from the folder. I'm like, why isn't it dropping? Because we told it to place.
It's okay.
I have these kind of days too. Just letting you know. Okay, so let me show you something. When you try to see how we have this little dotted line here, this is what I want to show you about the graphics, why a graphic might work for up to a 3x, but not for 4x, 5x. The orientation is a little different. It's not the same. So you would literally be cutting off. You see what you'd be cutting off down here if you were doing smaller shirts?
Right. Yes,
What's your
ma'am.
smallest shirt that you're doing?
For this one, it's a large.
Okay, so you're kind of pushing it a little bit because see with
Yeah.
the large you need that bleed space there. So this is what I'm going to tell you to do then. Go back over to your other file. You can hit escape not to place that.
Oh,
It's okay. It's all right. If it placed it already, we'll get rid of it. So I want you
okay.
to take this from the very, very top here, scroll on down to the very, very bottom, and keep that top selected. Scroll down to the very bottom. And let me get my marks off your screen. I want you to hold down Shift and then what is it on the Mac if it's not Shift?
I think it's gonna be the command.
So try Shift and then touch this bottom layer, and if it doesn't select all of them, we know it's Command.
Oh, it did. So it's shift.
Okay, so it's Shift. Okay, perfect. All right, so now we're going to literally pick up all of these layers. Well, first let's group it. Do now yours. You don't have Control G, so yours is going to be Command G. So shift is the same. It's the control and the alt that's different. So yep. So now you have that all that packaged up in one nice, neat little group, right?
Right.
Let's go ahead and use our move tool. So let's go to our move tool. Okay, and we're going to pick this up and drag it into the 3x template. And we'll still have all of our editable layers.
Yeah. It's, oh,
Did it do it? There we go. And just drag it onto the artboard. Let it go. Perfect. All right, so go ahead and push that on over. Oh, scratch this fool. Okay, so say okay. This is what we're gonna have to do. Let's go ahead and close out of this one here, the 4x one, because it looked like it did let you drag it over, but now you need some more scratch disk space. And normally that happens, like I said, I've been pushing my computer and I have way too many files on my hard drive that I need to move over to my cloud. If you need to save those changes, go ahead and see if it'll allow you to save them, but it might tell you your scratch disk full. Yeah.
yeah. That's what I've been struggling with here lately, and I don't know. I don't even know how to use the cloud or
Well,
anything.
okay, so you don't have to save this one. So say okay and just go ahead and close out of this. Yeah, just hit don't save. All right, so this one, let's see if it's possible for you to do a file save as. So let's try it and see if the scratch disk will allow. And you may want to save it as the same name file and just put like a small dash 3x at the end, something so you'll remember it's the same design, but it's just for the 3x.
Okay, do I need to save this one as a copy or no?
No, you don't have to save it as a copy. It's automatically going to save as a different version because you did save as.
Okay.
So let's see if it allows. Come on, baby. That's a good sign.
That's
All
the first. It hasn't.
right.
That is the first. I've been struggling with that. Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right. So, and like I said, you're at the mercy of Photoshop whenever you scratch this or full. But let's see something here. Go to edit up here, and then on the Macs it might be in a different place. Let's scroll all the way down here, and I think it is different. Go to the Photoshop actual words up there.
Oh yeah, to the
Yep.
scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Preferences.
I'm constantly doing this.
Checking and scratch this. Yeah, and then go to performance here too. That same place and go to performance. Did you max out your performance?
I don't know.
See, crank it up instead of 75%, let it go up to 90% if you, and that might help you out.
So about 90%.
Well, let's stick with 85 and then see if you need to push it up a little bit more because this, like I said, I'll be pushing my computer, so I know exactly. And I have like recent kind of top of the line, plenty of RAM and all that stuff. But I think I have 32 gigs of RAM on this laptop, and I still stress it out.
Yeah.
All right. And really and truly I need to be designing on a high, high quality desktop computer. Go ahead and hit
Yes.
OK. And let's see, hopefully, by the next time that you close and open up Photoshop, that might help you out. But let's see if we can work with this today. So you got your move tool selected. Go ahead and see if you can push that over just a little bit at a time and stop and see if it lets you do it. Okay, it lets you do it. All right.
Yeah.
Now you should see where it kind of starts lining up.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so just move it a little bit, and then what it is we're gonna have to get rid of some layers that we don't need. Okay, now it wants to not let you move anything, right? Okay, let's go ahead and open up this group, and let's get rid of any layer that you don't need. Scroll down. Let's see if you have any layers that you don't need. Scroll down. Scroll down. No, you keep yours pretty clean. Good job. We still got a big behind file, but at least you don't have a lot of layers that you don't need. Okay, so let's do this. Let's take off this keep on for print. Let's take that layer off. Let's just delete it. Just hit delete on, oh, there you go. Delete layer there. Say yes. And let's go ahead and hit file save. See if it lets you save it where it is right now. Let's save all of these little steps just in case. Oh God. All right, scratch disk.
It's the worst.
Yeah. I'm thinking that we may need to restart Photoshop.
Okay.
Now we were able to save it with this brought in, so that's good news. You have it, saved as the particular file name. So let's close out of Photoshop. Let's do just exit out completely.
I don't think it's gonna let me save, so I'll
It's
just.
okay, hit don't save. We only tried to shift it a little bit and we deleted one layer. So let's go ahead, let's open that file up again.
From there or from Photoshop?
Or you can open it from Photoshop. And you might have to go to the file open, because I think you saved it with the 3x. Oh, there it is right there, the all over dash 3x.
Yeah, I don't see this
It's the one that
one.
has the shirt halfway pulled onto it right next to it.
Okay,
I
yeah,
think you can call it out.
I see it now. Okay.
All right.
Let's just try to move it. You think?
Yeah, let's try and just move it halfway and then let it go.
Okay.
All right, now try to. Oh my
Oh,
goodness! Now, it does it do is it normally doing this regardless of whether you're on Zoom or not?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's been giving me a time for a while. I've like deleted so many things. I've gone through trying to see what it was. I'm not sure.
Well, let's do this then. Will it allow you to send me the Photoshop file? Because
I can try.
I can now and this is why I was trying to show you how to do it yourself, because I like it does charge a $15 resizing fee to like basically take any image and resize it towards another image. But
Mhm.
let me see if I was really hoping to show you how to, because I can tell you know how to do it. It's just your computer is not allowing you to do it right now. It looks like you'll probably have to like clear some space, or at the very least contact Photoshop with their little tech support. Tell them to check out why on your computer it keeps saying your scratch disk is full. They're probably going to tell you number one, oh, you probably don't have enough hard drive space. And if that's true, then you can always upgrade your hard drive space or clear it off by taking everything on your hard drive that's not the programs that you use and putting it either on an external hard drive and or backing it up on the cloud somewhere, right? So
Okay.
that's one option that you have. The next thing is it might be your RAM, or potentially the graphics card. And I don't think it's the graphics card. I think it may be either the hard drive space or the RAM. And that's something that is more of a computer issue, but I can at least tell you from my experience what I think this is. Uh, let's see, as far as getting these printed out right now, which is probably your biggest concern, let's let's see if you can send that PSD to me, okay? That email you were trying to submit just now.
Yes, ma'am.
Lisa says to purge your scratch disk. Go back to your, where was
Uh,
it? Go back to your
um.
scratch disk. And yours is on the hard drive. So, in order to purge it, and Lisa, I don't know if there's a specific thing to purge it, or you're talking about just doing like a cleanup for the C drive, because you might just need to clear your cache and um, also, especially if you save things to the cloud, and I run into that all the time. I save too many things to the cloud, and then I end up having to clear my cache because it's my computer is trying to reach that data as if it's on my hard drive, but really it's on the cloud. So it in the
Right.
interim, it's basically clouding up my hard drive. So
Right.
Lisa, let me know. She says go to edit on your computer.
Okay.
Thank you, Lisa. Lisa's helping out today.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. I see purge.
Oh, there you go. Go ahead and purge all.
Real.
Sure. As long as we can move something.
Right. So now, do I need to close out from here or?
Well, let's see if it allows you to push it now, or if you need to close out and open it back up. I would
Okay.
assume that if it was purging it right then and there, because that probably takes away all your history and stuff too. But
Mhm.
that shouldn't be a problem because we didn't do anything that's worth, going back to.
Okay.
So let's see. Can you move it?
No. Oh my god.
We'll close out
Okay.
of Photoshop and let's open it back up. But yeah, I'm thinking it's more of a, yeah, that it can be done on a PC as well. But like I said, I think this is more of a hard. Matter of fact, go to your hard drive, go to your C drive and see, or I think on the Macs it's called your HD, and see how much space you have.
Probably not much. I don't even know where.
Uh, and where is your? And I'm completely oblivious when it comes to Macs. So for PCs, we have like we can go to our one of our folders, right? So go to your folder. I think yours is called a Finder. Go to your folder.
Under here, I think
And
information. I'm not
okay.
sure.
All right. So
I'm not sure. I'll figure it
and
out.
I will tell you this. Another thing that'll help you too is increasing your RAM. Um, 8 GB is the minimum. And I don't know if with the MacBook you're able to upgrade those things, but if you could upgrade it, um, 16 is good, 32 is great, 64 is phenomenal. Like you probably won't have to buy another system for a very long time. All right, so
I'll check on it.
let's see. So that's that. Where is the hard drive though?
I'm not sure.
And it may have been in that same location. That same. Let's go scroll back up. I'm seeing hardware. I want to see, does it have the hard, go to storage. That's probably your hard drive. Okay, so see the capacity and the free, that's what it is. See
Mhm.
that free space ain't free at all. that
Okay.
that free space is real like jam packed. Like it may definitely may put you down. I think that's what the issue is.
Okay.
So in order to free space, and I think you know what to do from here. Um,
Yes,
but
ma'am.
but go ahead and send me this email so I can make sure that that email goes through. Okay, because if a Photoshop file email will go through, then I know a flattened JPEG will. Okay.
See, that's the one that I tried to send earlier. I
Okay.
think that's the
Yeah,
one that.
and you know what? That's the max. There should be go to since you have Google, you might have to do this manually because I don't know on a Mac if it keeps you from doing the Google Drive stuff. So go to on your web browser, go to drive.google.com.
You said
And
Google Drive. Google.
drive.google.com. Go ahead and go to that. And you probably already are used to it because that's how you get the templates from the NA Lab website, right? So basically,
Mm-hmm.
you're just going to be using Google Drive to send me a file. All right.
Okay. This is not me.
If it's not you, I think go to next.
Yeah, I was about to say my kids are on here sometimes too.
Okay. Oh, normally there's a way to. I was gonna say there's a way to choose which account.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take something and put it on your drive. So you're going to go to I believe new,
Hmm.
and you're going to just upload. You can upload a folder. So do a folder upload, and that way you can send. Well, so certain ones need to be printed, like certain quantities. Okay. So
Right, certain quantities, and then the one that we're working on with Joseph, one of them is the students, so his name doesn't have to be on the front. So that's why I said I was gonna have to change a couple of things.
the
So I was trying to
variations,
send it
right?
right. So it the other three needed the name on the front, and then the just that one didn't. So that's why I was trying to. It was just beginning to be a headache. I know y'all probably tired of me. I'm
It's
sorry,
okay,
but
and
I
I'm
was
sure you're
trying
not
to
the
get it.
only one that runs into these kind of issues. And honestly, these are the issues that I don't personally run into. So I don't know what stops you all from uploading graphics and getting prints done. So essentially, this is helping me to understand my customer base too. So let's see. Go ahead and send me like just put a Photoshop file in there. That was it. Was it this one you were working on the three? The 3X
Um,
that you couldn't get to work, put that
yes,
one.
ma'am.
Even though it's messed up right now, just send me that one and go to choose for upload.
Turn. No. Turn.
And then you have like limited storage too with with the Google Drive. But after you send something, once it's sent, you can kind of like clean up your files.
Okay.
But do you see it's uploading there for you? It's gonna take you a little while. But once you get it uploaded, I want you to send me back. I want you to send me back this file. So right click on this, right? This
Which
that Jersey's file right there. And then I want you to
mm-hmm.
hit share. Okay. And then you can get the link. So copy this link.
Okay.
Okay. And then you're going to go to your email. And this is a way where you can literally not have to upload it on your email. So go back to the email we were in.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I want you to just delete that one. I think that's how you get rid of it.
I think no. I think.
Or
Oh my gosh.
maybe you just hit delete. What does that more say? Oh Lord, some other stuff. Never mind. Let's close out of that one. Scroll down and see if there's a way you can. I think you can remove it. Just hit the backspace button. There you go. Something works. All right, so now I want you to paste, right click and paste that link. Okay, and hit enter. All right, so
Or stick
and then that way for the order number, right? So if this is for the order number and if there are multiple things on there, then you can put this is the one, this is how I do it. I actually, when y'all send me files, will have it renamed. So I'll say the quantity QTY of
Mm-hmm.
X, and then I'll let the file name be whatever it is. Because all I need to know is how many you need, right? So
Right.
whatever your file name is, if you just put the quantity that you need of that, just let me know. And then if it's the only time I need to know whether it's a 44 by 50 or a 4x 5x, if it's a 4x 5x, because everything else is the straight up 36 by 44, right? So for the one that's a
Right.
4x, then just put a 4x, right? And if it's not a
Okay.
4X, then just put QTY, the number that you need, dash, and it'll be the file name. So the only
Okay.
difference between this file name and this file name is the 4X. And then I'll know the 4X one, that's the one that you want on the bigger printed paper. All the other ones will be the 36 by 44 inch. And then
Okay.
technically, if you can get these in now, then you can get them with the flash discount.
Well, that's why I've been working on it since yesterday, but it hasn't gone through. So that's why I reached out again because I've been working on it since yesterday. And I haven't been able to. So I went to bed frustrated and I woke up this morning a little early trying to do it and I still wasn't able to do so. So, um, but I'll work on it here now and I'll
Mm-hmm.
try to go ahead and I've already placed the order. The order's already placed, but I placed it with the small thumbnail
Right,
uh
right.
like I told to do so. I just need now to upload the large file.
Right.
So,
So after we get this kind of settled, my greatest suggestion is going to be to kind of figure out how you're going to do your file management. These are some huge, and you probably never done like files as huge until you started messing with me. So my bad. For filling
right.
up your hard drive. I apologize. But yeah, so start looking into I use Google Drive as my backup. But it doesn't just back up what's on my computer. It saves everything to the cloud and only the files that I'm actively using, which is a lot of files, so I need to actually clean up my files that I'm actively using. It only puts on your hard drive temporarily what you're actively using, and then everything else is on the cloud. So I have over probably 3 terabytes of data, right? But on my system, I only have a 500 gigabyte hard drive, and I'm already pushing that, like I said, because those temporary files are being accessed, but my whole 3 gigs isn't on my computer. So that might be a solution for you to kind of have it saved somewhere. And then as you're accessing like these particular graduation files, you're only putting those on your hard drive temporarily. And then usually after like 24, 48 hours, after you are, you saved everything that you want to save, restart your computer, then it's taking up only the cloud space and not your hard drive anymore.
Okay, well, I have one more question. I don't know if you can answer, but maybe someone could help me out. But okay, so I paid for extra storage with iCloud. Will I be able to use that, or will it have to be Google Drive for you to
Oh
access it?
no, I don't. I think I've had people send me cloud stuff before, but here's the issue. Like you want to be able to take these JPEGs. You don't have to send me your Photoshop files. I was just saying because you can't push and pull them like you need right now. I'm willing to,
Mhm.
basically help you, but it ends up costing you more in the long run if you need help to resize and do all that stuff, which I know you already know how to do. So
Right.
what I would suggest is that you just make sure however you need your computer to function, it functions so that you can just save these as JPEGs and then you upload the JPEGs to the website. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So you should have been
Yes, ma'am.
able to save it as a flat JPEG, save it as a flat PNG, and then upload those to the website. And then that's all I'm downloading is your flat file.
Okay.
But
Okay. Okay.
but like I said, in this case, if you need me to help you out, I want to go ahead and get you in there because I know you already placed your orders and you want those to be processing. So
So,
so yeah,
okay. So
absolutely.
one going forward. So instead of sending you the full Photoshop file, will I be able to do it this way from here on and just send you that like that JPEG and then we go from there?
No, you're like normally you won't have to do any the stuff that you're doing right now. You should not have to do. You should the same way
Okay.
you placed your order and you put that little thumbnail. When it asks you for the image.
Mhm.
We haven't had this issue yet where someone hasn't been able to put a file online, and so that's why I was saying, well, maybe it's a timeout issue because it's a big file, and I've had people submit Photoshop files before, and I think it just depends on how large it is, whether it hangs up or not. But I don't suggest people submit the Photoshop file. I honestly suggest you submit the JPEG file or the PNG file because it's flattened and it's smaller. It takes up
Okay.
less of a footprint. So, for instance, you might have a 5 megabyte file for a JPEG image, but it is 60 megabytes for an editable file. And if you can upload the 5 megabytes file, you'll get done quicker with your upload because sometimes it's your internet connection timing out too because it's
All right.
stressing out that connection. And a lot of us don't know this, but they don't necessarily have the same download speeds as they have upload speeds. So
All right.
uploading something takes a lot more energy and it could time out easier than when you're trying to download something.
Okay.
So I'm just giving you some kind of tips and tricks, so because sometimes you'll be just wanting to get it done and be in a rush and you need to just see it process. So if it's a JPEG, matter of fact, um, well now you would have to submit a new order because I was gonna say see if you could submit that JPEG now, but you've already placed all the orders for the prints that you need, right?
I have a couple more. I stopped because I was having that problem.
Okay,
So
well
I really just
where is one that you need to do as a JPEG? That you need to place, and I won't have you physically do it online. I just want to see if it'll upload.
okay.
So let show me that graphic that you haven't submitted yet, if it's ready, and if it's not ready, we'll just pretend like it is and see if we can get through the process.
I think it is. Let me see. Um. Oh gosh, I have to look because I can't tell. That was the use. See, I need to get rid of some of these things.
Yeah, and that's part of what your computer's telling you.
Okay, I
That's
think it's
we be
this.
stressing our systems out.
Yes, ma'am. No, it was this one. I needed to change it to a gradient on this one. They wanted that one. to be the gradient instead of the all black. So it was this one. I'll work on that one. But
We'll see if right now you see how it's a PSD. See if you can open it and save it. Just save it as a. Go ahead and open that one right now. Let's see if Photoshop will not trip on us.
no.
Okay, well, close out the other one because all we need to do. Photoshop should have enough scratch stitch to save as a JPEG. So
Was right there.
okay, we'll click on it. Let's see if maybe it might work. But like I said, these then that was an even larger file. That's 500 megabytes. Like I said, these Photoshop files are huge, and I got to start making some simpler, ones that
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I'll fix it.
But yeah, but you do understand, like, if you save it as a JPEG, then
Mm-hmm.
then try to upload it. And when you try to upload it as a JPEG, you shouldn't have the issue that you're having. And if you do have an issue, screenshot it for me. If it's an issue with the website, then I will forward that to the developer. Is if it's an issue with the computer, then I'll be able to tell you, hey, it just means that your computer is at capacity and it won't upload, or the internet is probably stopping you from uploading it because it's such a large file. But your
Right.
best
Well,
bet. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you good. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I know once when I tried it because I tried it several times between yesterday and today.
Mm-hmm.
It mentioned on the website about something about it wasn't available, or the source, something couldn't be reached like that. But
Hmm.
if it happens again, I will definitely screenshot it because I didn't think to do so because I was just trying to get it uploaded. But if there's another issue with that as far as the website goes, I'll make sure that I get it to you.
Okay. And if at the very least, if you did it how you did today, and then you're able to email it to me, I'll still work with you on that. I haven't had that issue yet, so that's why I'm saying I don't. If it is a developer issue, then I'll make sure that I forward that right over to the developer. But I would need to see the error code in order to understand what to do next.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you got this. You just got to take a little breather, probably. Get you an external hard drive if you don't do
Okay.
anything else right now, and take all of these large files and just pull them over to that external hard drive, just so that your computer has space to think right now. Then get through this project. Do you have an external hard drive, somewhere at the house?
No, ma'am.
And this is one of those things, like, yeah, just go to Best Buy, and all these just add up real quick. Um, but yeah, and that's the other thing with you doing all the variations. Every variation of the file that you do is another, 400 megabytes, 300 megabytes, that sort of thing. So,
Right.
so we have to be aware of when we want to do a save as and save another version of the file, or when we would just want to have a couple other layers and switch them out. Um, all of and then we can have a file that's like a gig just because we have so many layers in it. So
Right.
it's really a matter of managing your storage, managing your system.
Okay.
But you got this, and I'll make sure that you're able. Well, you already did your place your order, so you got the discounted time, so that works out well for you. But if you need anything else, let me know, and I'll make sure you get this in. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay. You're welcome, love. You have a good one. Okay?
You too. Thanks.
You're welcome. All right, my loves. So it's 3 o'clock. I have a couple more off-screen designs to get caught up on and get done with, and I will check in with y'all a little bit later this evening with the course demonstration for tomorrow. Okay. All right, loves. Well, and my voice is getting a little scratchy and stuff. I've been on here talking 4 hours. Y'all got me. All right, loves. I love y'all for real. Appreciate you dearly. And I will see y'all in a little bit. But until that time, bye.